kudos to you, but they don't really care about that chapter because they're the dogs of the High Lords,
Yes.
and they will always be.
Yep, and that's what they were created to be. And that's
Look,
why...
there is a reason the custodians like them.
Yes.
They are the only Space Marines chapter that the custodians like.
Yes. When even the banana boys like you, well, sounds like you're in the minority, Cap.
I mean, the Banana Boys didn't like the primer. None of them. Not even the Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also a reason why the Emperor, once he got done with his Primarchs, was going to eliminate his Custodians like he did with the fucking Thunder Warriors. They were getting too, what's the word I'm looking for? They were starting to form their own opinions, and he didn't like that.
No,
There's a
the
reason why
custodians-
he fucking hates his Custodians and probably was going to eliminate them just like he did
Where
with
the
the
fuck
Thunder
did
Warriors.
you read that?
Yeah.
That's
Very
the point.
interesting.
That's
Because
the
now
point.
Cap,
Once the Primarchs have done their job and everything is set up, he was going to have the Custodians eliminated because he didn't need them and they were starting to get too opinionated.
Where
They
did you
cannot
read
formulate
that?
their own opinions.
First, yes, they're
That's the
literally
point.
incapable of formulating their own opinions. Second, where did you read that? What is the source
I
material
forgot,
for that?
but
You
I read it.
forgot because you came up with it in your head.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. That is not in any of the lore, ever, anywhere.
The fact that he doesn't actually trust his own Custodians and was going to have them taken out just like he did with the Thunder Warriors.
No, they wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure that he was going to do the exact same thing with the Adeptus Astartes as well.
No.
Yeah.
Done everything that he wanted them to do.
Yep. Yeah. That's terrible. What's the hype? But yeah. But no, the custodians are going to just reduce in size because they're the custodians and they will kill themselves. If the Emperor tell them to.
Look,
So it was fucking annoying that the custodians
closest,
literally cannot think from themselves.
the closest thing that you're referencing are what's his name, the Chaos Philator's books, where he's sitting there like, oh well, the Emperor actually is bad and he wants to be a controlling dictator of everything, and we have all these people that say that the Emperor is bad and therefore he's bad. That's the closest thing to what you're referencing there, but the actual claims you've made don't exist in the lore ever anywhere. There's nothing indicating that the Emperor would destroy his Custodians when he trusted them enough to fucking seal Draknien using one of them, his Captain General,
No.
in the
it
battle
wasn't
in the battle in the Webway.
Yes, it was shield captain. Or the
Yeah, shield captain, sorry.
Captain General.
And we also know that, yes, the Emperor wanted to phase out the Astartes being so important. He wanted them to be glorified police, but he didn't want to just genocide them all once their usefulness was done with, because they're not useful if they're dead.
I thought,
You can
oh
use
yeah, I
them
might be
even if you're not-
misremembering the actual sentiment that he had about it. I think I might be remembering that other people in the Astartes and stuff thought that that was going to happen because they were,
That's
I
visions
think,
that were
aware
given
of
to
what happened.
Horus by Chaos.
okay.
Yes.
Because I remembered that there was something about that where they were paranoid that he was going to get rid of them just like he did with the fucking Thunder Warriors.
Yeah, that's the Marines.
That was literally just fucking Horus. And that's because
No,
Horus... No?
That's a lot of the Marines.
I know the
Even
idea
the
started with...
Ultramarines have. No, Horus is the most important one because there's a short novel where he confronts Markador about it. But from the Ultramarines to the Space Wolves, they all have that fear in the back of their head. So they're going to get drawn to, move to the back of the shed and shot.
Which is what they're paranoid about now because of the whole Primaris thing. They
Yep.
think that they're going to get replaced by the Primaris because the Primaris are the logical next step, and the old ones are just there until they die out.
Yep. That was a story plot that they wanted to do, but and then we went too far into the future, so it makes no sense to have it. And now we're back in the past, so it maybe somebody who get told us.
Maybe. Anyways, should
For
probably
example,
start reading.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
can we
What
please
happened
start
to
this garbage?
LOL?
I can at him.
Get back in here, Sonny Jim. We have garbage to read.
oh, you know
Pure,
what?
unadulterated garbage.
You know what? I'm too tired. Too tired for garbage.
Okay.
So I will leave you guys. See you.
Okay,
All
bye,
right.
Corp.
Have a good night,
Bye.
Corporal.
Try not to die.
Don't read what I posted. You'll get me demonetized. I'm not monetized anyways. So wait 5 minutes.
Oh, wake the fuck up, Dane.
No.
We have to suffering to engage with.
Sorry.
Hey, I've said it.
Posting porn.
Yeah. Besides, you're not even streaming it right now,
Yes, I
so
am.
we're good.
Good
Wow.
job,
I guess that sucks to be you then.
I'm so proud of you.
Also, besides, there's really no point to fucking getting monetized with YouTube. That's about as fucking stupid as trying to get a Twitch partnership if you're not a chick. You can't whip your tits out and fucking, you know, get a shit ton of people on your OnlyFans. It's a losing battle.
Getting enough of a following to earn monetization means YouTube will start propping up your content because you make them money.
I mean, they'll make money off you either way.
Yes, but they
Yeah.
want you to continue making them money, meaning they'll prop up monetized content and push down
Stop
non-monetized
tapping on your
content.
desk, by the way.
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
There's my leg bouncing, sorry. So, demonetized content doesn't get favored by the algorithm, while monetized content does. The purpose is to get monetized so that the content gets pushed out more.
Yeah, this.
That way you have a growth strategy that isn't just entirely based off of how many people I can get clicking on my random thing. Rather, I can get onto the home pages. I can get into recommendations.
I don't know, man. That's a minefield I probably wouldn't want to walk into because of just how stressful and stupid it is. Like the whole thing of they just trip your demonetization for nothing. You could literally just sit there and fucking record paint drying and they'd somehow find some way to demonetize you for it.
A
'Cause if
car
you-
would drive in the background or something.
Because if you don't push enough views, they'll remove monetization because you're not getting them enough revenue. Or if you're a danger to their advertising strategy, aka you might piss off one of their advertisers, or you'll piss off people who will scream and cry to the advertisers to try and get you boycotted or get YouTube, the platform, boycotted, they will demonetize you, so they can't have the claim of, oh, ads posting extremist content.
Yeah. Ugh. Courier, thank you for that ping. I very much appreciate it.
In this case, there is no extremist content. There is
Wait.
no.
That's not my favorite character. What are you talking about, you fool?
Which one is that? That's Hammond. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I hate.
I know.
her
That's why I
voice
posted it.
her voice is like a chalkboard scraping against another chalkboard.
Come on, she's
That's why I
great.
posted it.
No, she's not.
She's
If
nice
I
and
wanted to have an
sunny.
aneurysm listening to a girl screech, I would fucking just go to Tumblr and start telling people I'm a Nazi.
It's just
Also,
weird.
considering the fact that you are doing that now for no reason, Kitty, I'd probably get that checked out because you've never done that before.
What?
At least to where we could hear it. That fucking leg
do it
jumping
all
thing
the
that you're
time.
doing.
No, his mic is just garbage.
No, my mic isn't
Ow.
garbage. It's resting on something that's causing it to vibrate, which is what you're picking up.
Yeah, no, I shake my leg all the time, so.
Mine, I do that as well. It's because my desk isn't exactly the most sturdy thing out there, so when I move and like I touching my desk, the entire thing fucking moves. Let's give him 5 more minutes. And if he doesn't show up, then what the fuck?
Then I'll fly over to Denmark and fucking beat the shit out of him.
Slap his dick and call him gay.
Totally, yeah. Uh-huh.
What, is fucking Courier a stall phone now? What the hell's going on here?
Oh, no. No, why would you do that? Fuck.
You know what? While we are here, let's talk about their fucking character designs.
Who?
You know who? The 4.
Oh, those 4.
Those 4 character designs.
Those
Those
motherfuckers.
4. Bring me their heads.
They're all
I wish
garbage.
to add it to my skull pile.
They're all garbage in various unique ways.
the ends of the earth.
Hey, I at least like Ruby because she's got the gothic Lolita set thing going on. That at least looks cool.
The only one among them doesn't look like complete ass is Ruby, and even they even fucked her up.
They did in the
Yes.
fucking one where she was in Mistral, but the one where was it Veil or Mistral? The newest outfit she has I like because the way they did her hair, and it actually looks pretty cool with the way it kind of looks more combat focused rather than frilly like it did in the first season.
I like how Yang is dressed like a fucking Mormon missionary.
Mormon missionary.
So, here's the thing that I'm gonna say with this discussion here. They changed the character designs on a fundamental level in a way that doesn't actually benefit the characters or maintain the essence of the characters. Ruby is supposed to be a bubbly, sweet teenage girl, right? You see that character design there. You see that spiky fucking hair. And you're thinking of Naruto. You're thinking of, like, Dragon Ball Z. You're thinking of
She didn't-
shonen protagonists. Not...
She didn't even get very much spikes to her hair. The only thing she got is a cowlick and like 2 ones. It looks more like she has bedhead rather than her other hair, which was more flattened.
It's still fucking anime hair.
Yeah, but it looks
that's the
less
problem, it's
like it's
anime
actually like
protagonist hair.
sticking all. It's not like Yugi or fucking Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like junting all over the place. It looks like she just got out of bed and didn't brush her hair. It's got like the bedhead thing.
You can look even in the show. Even the show, it's... Fucking... Oh, why is it doing that? So I had to go straight to my, try and download it.
I'm just giving visual examples for everybody.
But, like...
And the fact that her outfit really didn't change that much. The brassiere, is that what that's called? Or bustier or brassiere? That one just got more pronounced and became its own separate thing rather than just, it was just around her midriff at the start.
Okay,
And her dress became less flowing out. She still has her belt where she has all of her rounds, but that's become more utilitarian. And it basically became a lot less of a wide design.
yeah, that's a problem. Fuck. Oh, no.
It looks more like an adventurer's outfit rather than an actual, like, you know, a dress that she just put stuff on.
Okay,
Because the other one, just if you just take the belt off and the cloak off, she looks like she wouldn't stand out of place in, like, a fancy, like, you know, dinner or something like that. It'd be a little bit flashy, but that's what you're going for. But in her newer outfits, she looks a little more like it's meant for, like, actually running around and adventuring.
Again, it's missing the point of the character.
All of these are missing the point of the character. Because they're all garbage.
This is the season, or this is her second outfit. Okay, you still have the essence of the original, even with the changes in it. The cloak is still there. You have an extension of the corset as well. But it's not a massive fucking change in things like her hair. Her hair isn't spiky. It's subdued. It's flowing. Rather than fucking spiky. Why is it going up? Out of nowhere. It's a massive change with no real value to it. And then there's also the change in the face size as well. Like, the face just looks weird compared to previous designs.
I mean, she's also not a vampire anymore.
And let's talk about the fucking belt here. What does the addition of the belt really do? Well,
I thought
they
the
made
only
it full fucking brown. Sure. Now you add a little bit more detail with that brown belt instead of it being a black belt in part 2, or outfit 2. However, that ends up drawing your eyes away from the other defining characteristics, meaning you're screwing up your design philosophy to an extent. Because what's her core color? What's the thing that's supposed to drive your eyes most? It's the red. It's that fucking cloak. Well, now, what's the most flashy thing that's drawing your eyes now? It's drawing you to her midriff. Right, to that fucking belt. And there's also the issue of complexity there, too. Why add all these fucking belts that don't do anything? It's overcomplicating your design.
Makes it harder to animate.
Harder to animate, costs more money to animate, and you're not actually adding anything to the design unless you're trying to appeal to 14-year-olds trying to be edgy. But edginess doesn't fit this character, so why do you have it?
I mean, where are the unnecessary belts on her? It's not like fucking Lulu from Final Fantasy.
Unnecessary belt. She's
Where?
already wearing a corset. Why does she need a belt?
The belt's also functioning as a bandolier. And it also has her personal house symbol on it.
He's talking about the 14 other belts she has for some fucking reason.
The belt's on her skirt. She's got 2 belts on her skirt. For no reason.
She's got belts on the corset, 2 of them.
She's got belts on her boots.
She's got belts on her frickin' forearms on the gloves.
There's belts everywhere, and they're completely unfucking necessary. It's a Nomura design, and I harp on Nomura designs all the fucking time because too many fucking belts. Like, at least with a character like Lulu from Final Fantasy X.
Ruby is the belt equivalent of the zippers from Blink's outfit.
Lulu from Final Fantasy X. You understand what kind of character this is. The belts make sense because she's supposed to be fucking edgy and weird. Goth. But with Ruby, like, why do you have this happy, bubbly character covered in fucking belts and black? She looks like a goth with the wrong fucking personality.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the next one. What?
Oh god. She's got a dildo on her head.
She's got a fucking dildo on her head. Her hair is now a penis.
Her hair is now a penis. Congratulations.
But, like, Weiss, first off, they lost the core color. The main color for Weiss now is blue, for some reason. Where that's the most eye-catching thing there, the fucking bright navy blue. Even her scarf from outfit 2 wasn't that eye-catching because it still had the white dress, which was the backdrop, her white hair, and all that. And back in outfit 1, it didn't really matter because it was aligning. But now, her outfit is blue. That's the core dominant color. So now you have red, blue.
Yeah, you had red and white, and now it's blue and white. You had black and red, and now you have like brown and red.
Because I'm looking at the art thing for the Ruby. The reason why she's wearing the belt is because she wants it to be a full pleated skirt, but underneath that is modesty shorts, and that's the reason why she has the belt there, because it prevents the skirt from flying up.
No, it's an overcomplication of the design. And that's a
Yes.
justification given after the fact.
Her skirt never flew up in Volume 1. Weiss's skirt never flew up.
It's literally a justification given after the fact because they came up with this bad design that looks edgy and will get kids and Japanese people watching.
Also, they have skirts where the skirt is like heavy enough where it's not gonna fly up in a breeze or whatever.
Or, they just put wires into the skirt,
That too.
which is what they have done historically to keep them from flapping around in the wind. If they don't want them to. That's what actors do. If they don't want the wind fucking with the outfit while they're filming, they put wires into them. It's not hard. But, her dominant color is fucked up entirely. Otherwise, the design doesn't look bad. There's too many fucking belts. Again, this time 3 belts. When you only need 1. But, overall, the design doesn't piss me off too much.
Other than the dildo hair.
It kind of fits
That needs to
more
change.
for. I also think it kind of fits that they're trying to go for a more adventure aesthetic, to
No, they
where it's
aren't.
more, They aren't?
That's not a more adventure aesthetic.
They're trying to go with something for cold weather, considering this is Atlas, which none of these designs make sense for cold weather, but...
Now let's talk about the worst fucking offender of them all.
Yes!
The worst fucking offender of them all. So, Blake's original design. It's okay.
It's
In fact,
minimalist.
It's minimalist. It's nice. You have the dominant color with the white highlights. You know what her position is based off of it. You know that she's going to be a gloomy bitch. It makes sense. It's fine. It works. Where are her shoulders? Where are her shoulders?
In that outfit, I think it's just the fucking angle that it was taken at.
Where are her fucking shoulders? And no, it's not the angle, because it appears in the third outfit too. Where are her fucking shoulders? Where are her shoulders? And you know what? The reason why you don't have this problem with the other designs is they have a different design choice for the shoulders, where they're either poofier clothes, in the case of Weiss, or the shoulders are bare, in the case of Ruby. Or enough of it is covered by the scarf, where you don't notice this shit, where probably it does exist in her second outfit. It looks so fucking derpy. Where are her shoulders? And let's continue, because there's so much fucking more. Shoulders. Shoulders first. What the fuck is this thing around her arms? Is that like a backpack? No, it's just an add-on collar to the one-piece suit that makes no fucking sense. With a belt that does nothing, but okay, sure, whatever. It's one belt. We'll accept the one belt. Where are her boots? Where are her boots? She has boots in the fucking promo material in the drawings. Where are her boots? Why are there zippers on her pants? Where are her boots? She's just walking around without any shoes on. That makes
Wait,
sense.
Wait, is she? Hold on, I fucking never noticed this before.
She has no boots.
Probably because I don't care, but... Where the fuck? Oh, there's so much garbage here. Jesus Christ, just get me to Volume 7.
Look, type in Blake Belladonna feet and you'll get there.
No, that's sending him down a rabbit hole where he's gonna have to burn his fucking computer hard drive.
He already has to. He's just putting it off the entire time.
Trying to find one with a good shot of her fucking feet in it. Hold on. They don't like to bring the fucking camera angle below the fucking shoulders for some
Probably
god.
because she doesn't have any shoes, and they forgot to model it, and they couldn't change it because they knew people would notice.
Now she does have shoes. They just never fucking show it.
But she's supposed to have boots, and they're supposed to go up to her thighs, and it's the modeler fucked it up.
You're talking about your. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just got leggings. There are
I was
no
gonna-
shoes.
It's like the fucking heels or whatever are built into the catsuit.
Yeah.
Because there's no rim around the foot, you know, where you'd put your foot into the boot, or the. Wow, wow. How did I not notice this before? Holy shit!
And the
Oh my-
fucking zippers everywhere. Why are there zippers on her arms?
Oh my god.
Why are there zippers fucking everywhere?
Cause she's edgy.
It's another.
Crawling in my skin.
It's another fucking Nomura design. And I keep on saying that because Nomura has belts and he has zippers, and that's his designs. Everything has belts, everything has zippers. It's fucking ridiculous. But again, no shoulders. And for a second design, because this is the most, she's the one with the most consistently awful designs.
Oh god, no. Oh god, shit.
Why
No.
is the blazer jacket so thin around her waist, as if to be pushing up her breasts when she has no tits? And Rooster Teeth doesn't want people looking at it anyways.
I don't understand that.
Why is it so thin as to hug the body? That's neither how clothes work, nor does that make any sense for your design philosophy. So your design philosophy is fucking schizophrenic.
I mean, she does have breasts in the first one, kind of. You can kind of see it. The second one, though, yeah, she looks like a boy.
She looks like a boy, and she's flat as a fucking board.
You can kind of see it in the first one, so I'll give that one a pass.
In the third, she's all of a sudden got boobs, but you wouldn't know without the fucking shadows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the fucking suit doesn't make any sense. And it changed her color. Her color scheme is now purple and white. Her color scheme is essentially the same as Weiss's now. And then if you look at the promo art, they changed her hair color from black to purple. Great. So now you have red, blue, white, purple?
White, purple, something.
I don't know.
We in the color industry call that a Wurple.
Jesus.
And now let's move on to possibly the most disappointing. Yang.
I have to say, at least conservatively, her second outfit is the one that actually looks like the most normal outfit, like the most normal person, something that they wear.
Yeah, the one where she's stuck at home recovering because she lost her fucking arm.
Yeah, and she looks like she's actually wearing what a normal person would wear. It's just that her
Not-
jacket is a lot more stylish.
No, not in my opinion, because what the fuck is that collar?
Yeah, that color
I
makes
know,
no
I'm just
fucking
saying.
sense.
I'm just saying the jacket is a little bit over stylized, but like if it actually covered her, like, you know,
Because the thing
midriff
is, the
and take the
collar-
collar off, and she'd look like a normal person.
the collar is supposed to be a replacement for her scarf. She has a scarf in season 1. They want to replace something similar, or with it, something with. They want to replace it with something similar. So they have
They have a
this-
scarf in season 3, and they have a scarf in season 1 or whatever. In the third one, they fucking have a collar.
I know, it makes no sense. The collar makes no motherfucking sense. But,
Nope.
you know, it's there anyways. So, you know, that makes... whatever. But already you can see the change in her color design. Where here you have a very bright yellow and it catches the eye. And you can see that core color. The yellow is there, and it's at the points of interest where your eyes are going to be looking anyways.
Tits.
Because she's the character with the tits.
And now
Yeah.
it became kind of more subdued to where her color scheme is going more towards brown.
Brown, yeah,
Now
and her hair
color
became
scheme-
darker.
Her color scheme is now orange. And they did the first of her breast nerfs. And you know what? Sure, the arms are still yellow, but you're losing the key points of interest there, and her hair isn't even yellow anymore. It's orange. But okay. Now
Also-
you have... Oh, go
Also,
ahead.
when you say her arms are yellow, I was gonna say that's not her arms. That's just like the bracer for her
Yeah.
shotgun thingy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What I'm saying it, but
Hmm.
details. Now we have season 3. Well, her tits are gone. Just
Entirely. Rest in
entirely.
peace.
She's flat.
Rip.
And
Rip tits.
why is she wearing this weird ass jumpsuit?
Why are there zippers everywhere? Once again.
Why are there zippers everywhere? Why are there fucking belts? Why is there a... I didn't even notice this before. Why is there a buckle in the middle of a straight fucking piece of fabric?
Oh.
Are you talking about the one that's on her leg? That one that's exposing the skin on her leg?
It's so she can
Yes.
fucking have it there and not have its.
It's a pointless buckle. There is no value.
Yeah.
to
Look
it.
at the opposite leg. You see the zipper there? It's supposed to zip up like that. I think that's a personal modification to the jumpsuit.
Again,
Cool.
it does not change my point. It is a unnecessary addition that doesn't help the design. It overcomplicates things and it looks terrible.
Garbage.
But let's look at the rest of it. Her dominant color
Garbage,
is brown.
Jimmy.
It's brown and then followed by orange. Those are her colors. So now you don't have yellow as her dominant color anymore. It's orange and brown. Well, orange is okay, but it's not Rubeau. It's Ruby. Well, her hair is also more subdued in color, which is, sure, whatever. It was already there with second design. We're fine keeping it that way. Clearly they changed the engine. And what the fuck is this outfit? Sure, it's for a colder climate.
No.
That first outfit would be better for colder climates. Just outright. Literally just take that first outfit and add a fur lining to it, and you're fine.
And actual pants. That
Actual
too.
pants, yeah. This, she doesn't have pants. She has...
Now it's a one-piece jumpsuit.
Yeah.
They all moved to one-piece jumpsuit. She's wearing a one-piece jumpsuit. Blake is wearing a one-piece jumpsuit. Fucking, I guess Ruby and Weiss are the only ones who aren't, kind of.
Weiss is wearing a one-piece jumpsuit. It's just
Is
that
she?
all of the fucking dresses and shit, that's all at... Wait, no, never mind.
No, she'd have...
Because I'm looking at it now, yeah, if you actually look right where her knees are, that's basically just greaves. So she has nothing up above that. So it's not a jumpsuit. As if it continued up like her sister, where she has, the long white pants that go all the way up, then you could consider that a jumpsuit. It's just a continuation of the actual dress, but it looks like separate pieces.
Yeah.
I
Also,
just don't
also
understand.
that's the stupidest thing I ever seen in terms of the concept art. Magnetic attachment straps. Why would you not just have a normal backpack?
Why would you have magnetic attachment straps? Why wouldn't you just have, like, a belt?
Or
Why
like
wouldn't you have a
loops?
belt where it makes sense?
Or how about loops, where you put your arm around the loops? I know it's fucking crazy, man. Having loops on a backpack that you can put your arms through. It's fucking insane.
Just-
It's crazy.
And the backpack doesn't even have any volume either. It can't carry anything.
No, it's the world's tiniest. It's pointless. You might
It's
as well just have a
fanny
pocket.
pack. It's a
No,
fanny
dude,
pack.
That's an insult. That's an insult to fanny packs. Fanny packs are bigger than that.
Oh my lord.
Literally, they're bigger than that.
This-
Or you could do it like the old-fashioned way where we did it in the military with fucking Molly, which is basically just, a better way of being able to put a whole bunch of fucking pouches and shit on you without, a lot of modifications to the uniform.
Molly.
And now that you pointed it out, I just can't stop staring at those fucking feet. Holy shit. Why?
Yes, you're gonna be obsessed with Blake's feet and start asking for her OnlyFans toe pics. Okay, we
No,
understand.
no, I'm saying.
Don't worry. I'll put you out of your misery eventually.
No, I'm saying. Why would you fucking built-in fucking hard toe, like hard high heel shoes into a goddamn cat suit?
How do you even fucking get into it?
Oh my
From
god,
what
that's a
I
good
can
point.
see,
That's a good point.
from what I can see of the actual suit itself, you're supposed to make sure that the legs from right where the foot go up with that zipper, you're supposed to open that up, put the suit on, straighten your leg out, and then zip it back up.
No,
Because
that
it's supposed
wouldn't.
to be unzipped while you're putting your leg into that thing. Then you put your leg in your
Cap,
foot into the
you're
shoe part, and then
misunderstanding.
zip it up.
You know
No.
that with heels, the zipper for heels go all the way to the toe?
Ah,
Yeah.
Also-
I didn't see.
Also, Cap, look in between the feet or whatever. Like, look there. There's no way to like. If you were trying to get your feet into the suit via the zippers, or your legs into the suit via the zippers, there is no possible way you could get those zippers on the legs. Are entirely superfluous. There is no point in them being there. Because you could just zip open the top if that zipper went down a bit more. You could just zip open the top and just, put it on like a jumpsuit or a fucking cat suit, which it is, and then there you go, problem solved. Those zippers on the legs, there is no point in those being there. None
Let's also
whatsoever.
talk about another aspect of it. That suit would take way, way, way too long to put on.
Yeah.
That is not combat efficient in the slightest.
No.
And that's a common problem with all of them. Their gear is fucking inefficient.
I just can't get over those goddamn zippers, though.
Like,
Fuck.
you want your character to be more adventure-y looking. Great. Their design shouldn't get more complex, they should get less complex. They should get much more utilitarian. Everything should have a purpose. Everything.
There's a reason. There's a reason why when I'm usually playing games or something like that, if I can, I try to get military aesthetic clothing and stuff because
That's
it
because you're
actually
a
fits to
military
what you're
fag.
doing.
That's why. You
Yeah,
love the
and it's
military. I
usually
get
the
it.
most and it's usually the most utilitarian and like actually designed for what you're mostly going to be doing in the game. It's like Cyberpunk. Were you gonna be running around with a fucking tank top and like fucking short shorts with fucking Crocs and socks when you're having a gunfight? No, I'm going to be wearing body armor.
Anyways.
This point is the designs look retarded and the fucking zippers. Having zippers and fucking belts on everything makes no sense.
The designs are retarded. It makes no sense why things are so overcomplicated. They added belts and zippers where they don't need to
Everywhere.
be. The characters wouldn't even want to use those kinds of clothes, because they get in the way. That's the biggest fucking problem. All those belts that are just
Stop
hanging
breathing
off,
into your mic. Please. Sorry.
every single fucking belt that's just hanging
you.
off, that's a potential place where you can get grabbed by an enemy.
Or get caught on something, yeah.
Get caught on something, get grabbed by an enemy. All those superfluous buckles everywhere, that's a place for you to get caught on something. Hell, I get caught with my buckles on door frames sometimes because I'm at just the right height where my ass is the same level as the little guides for door hinges or doorknobs.
Hmm.
Like the little
Isn't-
tabs there.
Isn't it also just weird? Maybe I find this, but if you look at fucking Blake's character design or whatever, she is the only one out of everyone on the show, I think, other than John, that we've ever seen use some form of armor, and that's in the fucking form of knee pads. Like, armored knee pads.
Yeah.
What is the point of those?
What is on one hand you can say, what is the point of armor in general in Ruby if you have your fucking aura?
Magical aura, yeah.
But on the other, your armor would still work if your aura isn't. So
Yep.
why the fuck not wear armor? Why isn't everybody just wearing armor all the fucking time if there's potential danger everywhere?
And there's not a problem with weight because aura boosts your physical abilities or whatever.
Why
So
wouldn't they just come up with ways to make extremely durable and easy to put on armor that you could just get on instantly and be ready for combat should something occur?
it's stupid.
It makes no fucking sense, and that's the biggest problem with Ruby. Nothing makes any fucking sense.
And it makes less sense the longer you think about it, and that's amazing. Which is why I love to bitch about it, because like I said, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's like you have over-complex designs that lose their own original fucking design philosophy. I will never get over that. Because, God. Character design, guys. If you are ever making a piece of visual media, character design is immensely important, and maintaining your character's traits are important in those designs.
Mm-hmm.
I could give Blake at least one thing. Her second outfit is not that bad. Because it's basically just fucking leggings, and then she got her boots, pants, and a tailcoat. And she's got a fucking tank top. That's it.
No, the second
There's
outfit's
really-
fucking terrible too.
But it looks functional.
No,
Like
it doesn't.
the tailcoat is the only thing that, because it doesn't go past her hips for
It's
the part in the
over-tailored.
front. Yeah. That's the only part I could complain about. Everything else looks functional enough.
Sorry. I guess Lal isn't joining us. I guess we should get this shit started. It's been almost 45 minutes.
Of just straight pitching.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's watching this, I don't know why you're watching this, but ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's watching this, this is why this is so terrible, and this is why I fucking harp on it all the time, is because you can find, everywhere you look, there's shit to complain about, because nothing makes sense, and the more you think about it, the less sense it makes. It's the gift that keeps on giving, so...
It's
beautiful.
basically just like, it's just basically if we were complaining about Star Wars because of the fucking movies and how they butchered everything we love.
It's entertainment aids.
Yeah. Yeah.
First you catch it, and then the longer you go on, the worse your immune system gets, until finally you're dying of some stupid fucking outfit change that makes no sense and completely breaks with the character design, but it looks cool, so we're gonna go with it, and we'll use that to sell more merchandise to the Japanese. It's not like the Japanese have terrible fucking taste in media. After all, SAO is popular there.
The Japanese have much better taste in terribleness.
No, they unironically like SAO.
Japan, what is... No.
Yes.
Just no.
Yes.
Japan, what is wrong with you?
That's why I say the Japanese have trash taste. They unironically like Ruby, and they unironically like SAO.
Well, because they have the fucking Japanese manga of Ruby, which is actually not that fucking bad, apparently.
It was made after the show took off.
Yeah, and made by somebody, I don't think it's written by the fucking writers, because there's shit in it that actually makes sense, you know?
No, it isn't written by the fucking show's writers. It's written by somebody who's remotely competent.
Which is why it's good, in comparison.
That's why it's tolerable.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably get on with this piece of hot garbage. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god, I just found this picture! Sticks her dick in fish.
Hates that she runs from her problems. Literally always runs from her problems. Sticks her dick in fish. Thinks she's hot shit. Can't get it up when it comes to summoning. Is a victim. Has facial scars straight out of Skyrim. Hey. You're finally awake.
You're finally...
I'm pretty sure if that actually happened and Courier woke up in the world of fucking Ruby, he'd just shoot himself. He'd try to get a gun as soon as possible so he could
No.
end his suffering.
No. I would...
You would dick down Blake.
No, we're streaming, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he would.
We're streaming right now, right? Okay, well, let's just say I would get a gun and I would do something that doesn't involve shooting myself, but still involves the gun, so...
Listen, he would make this fanfiction a reality.
Find the cat, put an entire magazine into it. Reload, try again.
Oh, he certainly fill her up with some kind of munition.
Yeah, because we know about you, Courier. You hate her so much that the hate just looped back on itself to become love. A very twisted love.
The horseshoe theory of emotions. The two closest emotions aren't love and aren't affection and love. No, they're hate and love. All it takes is one little push, and they're the
No.
same.
No, it's not.
One can turn hatred into love if only they try with one push.
No.
She just starts wiggling her ass in your face, and you're gonna go to town on that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We understand.
No.
We
No.
know.
Judges you for it.
We will support you. We will
No,
support
stop it. Stop it.
We know you like it. We know you love it.
you. It's like the cat has entered heat.
No, my emotions can be summed up with that fucking scene from Blade Runner, is it 2049 or whatever, where he's like, God damn it! You know that scene? My
Oh
emotions
yeah,
can be summed up.
we figured that you'd be more like this to Blake. See you in the bedroom, Space Kitty.
No, because here's the thing. Somebody can be the most physically attractive person in the fucking world, but if they are the biggest thunder cunt in the known galaxy, it does not matter, okay? It does not fucking matter. I will hate them regardless. Because at that point, they're only good for hate fucking and nothing else.
Yeah, that's why you cut
Yeah.
your tongue out and do it anyways. They can't say no if they can't speak.
No, Kitty, you're taking too much John from this story. Do we need to take your
Carden.
fucking reading privileges away?
Carden, he's taking too much Carden from the story.
Oh, I'm a terrible human being.
Oh yes, I've said that many fucking times, but nobody believes me.
We should probably get started.
No shit.
Put this off for too long.
Because it's more interesting to talk about.
It's more interesting to bitch about their fucking character designs and actually deal with this god-awful fan fiction. Anyways. Yang is just so adorable to rate. Oh, what is his notification? Okay. John was warm and comfortable when he opened his eyes. The ceiling loomed above him, a faint tingling in his groin, telling him the need to relieve himself. No! He got up, watching Juniper curl up even more. His older sister looked comfortable, meeting Yang's eyes for a moment, his fondest pet's gaze soft as she smiled at him. The feeling of warmth inside him was there as he opened the door, seeing Tara stand in front of it, her eyes looking at him with questions. No, they're looking at him with penis. The silhouette from the light that fell from the hallway, showing it to be the fondness of his older sister. So let me get this straight. He saw her silhouette in the doorway while looking at her face and realized it was her. Not from looking at her face, but looking at her silhouette. Writing, guys. Good morning, Tara. Wait. Good morning, Tara.
Which is even odder because they make a point or whatever that Tara like had her fucking ears or whatever cut off, so it's not like you can see the silhouette and then like see the two dog or cat ears on top or whatever. It's just a normal silhouette.
Yep. It's just the silhouette of what would be perceived probably as a human. Which makes no sense as to how it'd be discernible. Got a specific
Apparently, he's been checking out his sister so much he can tell whose silhouette it is.
My silhouette, yeah. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Oh.
Nice tits are nice tits. Anyways. Really makes me put my feet up because I'm fucking lazy. Woohoo, that feels nice. That feels very nice. Very nice. Good morning, Tara. She curtsied as a slave should, her eyes peering into his room and spotting the occupants of the bed, looking at him with a face framed mostly in shadow. What, you don't have properly lit fucking hallways? Good morning, Master Jean. Her voice light so as to not disturb the sleeping occupants of his bedroom. She stepped aside to let him past. To the bathroom. He could have gone to his own bathroom, but the flushing would have probably woken up Juniper.
How light of a sleeper are you? Jesus Christ.
He hoped that she'd have a good rest. She'd been drinking, so she'd have a bad sleep if he didn't take care of her. No, that's not how alcoholic... How... No. Just... No. No. This person has never...
This person has never done anything in their life.
This person has never had enough alcohol to make them pass out. Or get them sick. This person hasn't even been drunk before.
I've been drunk before.
Yeah, you were drunk on the show.
I know. Hey everybody, it's me again.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Motherfucker. Need to switch.
Kermit the Frog!
Hermit D. Frog here.
Frog here. You see, we have to gas the furnace before they can breed because they cause all sorts of problems when we let them live.
Unironically, I'm pretty sure that's a line in the book. I'm pretty sure word for word.
Anyways. If you can
Said
take
by
care of-
Madoff Schmittler.
Yes. I shall accompany you. Lady Saffron is resting. He had seen what Saffron had done to Blake, but found himself not really caring all that much. Blake was not a good pet, but she was still his pet. Saffron knew not to go too far with her playing.
I guess ass rape isn't too far.
Well, you gotta teach her somehow.
Ass rape for several hours.
How else is she gonna get her semblance? What the shit is this? Weird man. Okay. No, there's something that was going on my screen. As I walked down the hallway, his eyes checked the rooms of his sisters. Usually when they were in, they'd have a small sign that they were present, a little indication whether they wished to be disturbed or not. Kimnia's room was currently unoccupied, according to the small cobalt tag that had been pushed into the slot beside the door. He pushed the bathroom open, the white porcelain toilet standing there. He could stand whilst relieving himself, but it was not polite to make more work for the slaves, according to Ash's words, though he knew
You can't aim for shit.
that they would not mind.
Aim, motherfucker, aim! Aim, bitch!
No, you see, he doesn't know how to aim because he always had the slaves doing it for him.
Oh, right, yes. Totally.
Ah, my lord almighty, this is so fucking stupid. So many holes immediately. And none of them are fuckable. Oh, lord.
I guess if
seemed
Laurel's not
happy
here, I'll
whenever he
just-
checked up on them. Yeah, because probably they're hoping for you to dick them. He sat down, doing his business, whilst idly thinking about what he was going to do. He would need to write down the letter of proposal himself, as custom dictated. That would require a bit of time, a little bit of fine penmanship, and hopefully the blessing of Lady Rose herself. I hope you're not gonna hate me, Ruby. I never would have done this if Cinder hadn't been. It was a supreme power move, one that he hoped that he would probably never be able to force through if he had not been an Ark. He knew that his father might disapprove of it, but he had done the checking himself, and he trusted Argent to have given him the proper lineage tests. He thought back to last night, to that moment when Yang had given him a moment of bliss. If he could marry her, he wouldn't have to do this. She was bright and sunny and cared for him just like Ash cared for him. She is a furnace. There was a soft chuckle as he looked at Tara, who was standing at the door, her eyes looking at him with a question in them, the light making her look dubious in her expression. Full stop, full stop. Master ellipses, this might be presumptuous of me, but could you check up on Mistress Saffron? There was a look on her face that was pleading, and he mulled it over a little. No, it should be mulled over it a little. Her eyes didn't leave him, darting down from time to time as if
To his dick.
uncertain. She wants his penis in her vagina.
Even though she's a filthy degenerate.
Even though she's a fucking degenerate. Fucking degenerates.
Wait, I have the perfect image for this. Let me see if I can find it.
No. Keep
No.
going.
I will
I
not
know.
wait.
I'm saying
I
I'm
need to
gonna post it.
complete this. His thoughts of Yang faded, even though his erection did not easily do so. Slowly pulling his underwear back up, he allowed himself a moment to let his arousal simmer down, a language stretching of his body to push him to that state of being a little more aware. Tara approached him, looking at him. Did she want to talk? A little nod as Tara did. What? A little nod as Tara did. Okay. That would probably be the reason why Tara was waiting in front of his room like a good, faithful guard dog. That might be somewhat more apt with her being a canine fawness, but still. I'll come to her room then. A little shake of the head. Tara didn't wait for him to inquire why she'd shaken her head. Mistress Saffron is in her second bedroom. Not precisely the room where she'd regularly sleep in. That wasn't a bad thing, he supposed. Just down the hall from him, the privilege of being the daughter heir of the Ark family. She wanted to talk about things that were going to happen today without a problem. Master John? Tara asked, and he became aware of just how close she was. Feeling that presence and seeing her stand there with some hesitation in her eyes, he watched her carefully. Your bad pet is a kitten. Blake. Ah, what about her? Yang was better. Yang was better than... What the... Shit. Ah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I hate all my accents.
Yang was better than Blake. He knew. Yang was loyal.
And she was kind, and it was a shame that she was a funhouse because something felt just right about her, about being around her. Nothing, Master Jean. The slave would not dare to infringe on the pets of her mistress's brother. He smiled. Tara was a good fawness. He patted her on the head. She looked at him with her deep eyes as his fingers brushed over the minute stumps that had been left of her ears, her gaze never leaving him. You can ask me if you want. You're Saffron's personal fawness. He liked her. She was like his older sisters, caring yet still respectful.
It's the sound of Tara entering his house, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you're gonna love this next scene, or next sentence. Mistress Saffron does not enjoy the cat.
Yep. I think the author meant to put another fucking ellipsis in between is and does.
No.
I think that's what's supposed to be. I think that's what it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be an ellipsis there, I think.
Mistress Saffron does not enjoy the cat. She called you a rapist. Please ensure that she is taught the leash and the collar. You are no rapist, master. You're Mistress Saffron's brother. Licks lips. A pause as the woman sank to her knees in a swift motion, pulling his underwear up a little and straightening it out, sniffing it lightly, and then making sure that it was properly arranged. Okay. This was kind of embarrassing, but Tara always had an eye for detail, or so Saffron had said. Thanks, Tara. She rose once again, doing a small curtsy once again. No. And again, doing a small and again performing a small curtsy. There we go.
Oh my god, quit using the same fucking words over and over. Fucking variety is the spice of life, goddamn you.
It was remarkable how much a fawness could change when properly reared. He smiled at her with an encouraging smile. smiled at me. Literally just encouragingly. Encouragingly. Please. For the fuck of God. I'm happy that's your Saffron's fondness, Tara. The Faunus' cheeks flushed a deep red as her gaze looked away from him. There was something in the body language that he thought he could recognize. Something that lurked within her that made him almost connect the dots. Do you remember when you first came here? Right? Do you remember when you first came here? It was not really a place for conversation, but he figured that he had the time. Mother wasn't home, and most of his sisters weren't up. I do. He was not properly trained yet. He remembered the young woman Faunus who'd just been gifted to Saffron as her personal Faunus. It was a sign of her own status as the heir, and he enjoyed seeing a new face around the house. The other slaves were kept in the pen, where he was not allowed to go without supervision. Ash was very insistent that he be accompanied, and she made sure not to let him out of her sight. His sisters approved of that, for some reason that he hadn't known about at the time. He did now, with Camille's visions in the memory.
And I would like to say, despite that vision in the memory or whatever and what they fucking did to her, they still have no bodyguards anywhere. Not a single bodyguard.
What's your name, Faunus? The young woman's floppy dog ears twitched a little as she looked at him, the look that he got being one of skittish fear.
There's no transition into this fucking flashback.
Saffron had gone for a beauty treatment even
Sorry.
though she hardly needed it in his opinion. The next dance still a few days away. The young Faunus woman was busy with polishing several pieces of silverware, already making the glistening ornaments glimmer in the bright light of the lamps. Tara, Master Ark, I am your sister's personal Faunus. She had looked at him with a look that was questioning why he asked her name. Names were important, he knew. He could name every counselor of Vale from the institution's foundations after the Great War and their immediate family. Tella. He tried to pronounce her name, her eyes looking at him with a questioning look. No, it looks at him with a questioning penis. She didn't seem to like him trying to speak her name, but it was just what he'd want to do. Saffron's new pet needed something. How's it spelled? She spoke the letters, vocalizing them, and he wrote it down mentally. He wouldn't forget it easily as she looked uncertain. His hand went to the collar that rested around her neck, and she flinched back. He grabbed it anyways, and she stopped to resist. Good slaves did not resist, after all.
She stopped resisting.
She stopped to resist. She stopped moving to resist.
Quit resisting arrest! Quit resisting arrest! He's resisting! He's reaching! He's reaching!
Cut over to SWAT 4B just shooting a guy repeatedly.
Yeah, it's just like you just fucking shooting him while he's already down with the beanbag shotgun.
Stop resisting!
Good girl. He ordered a stainless steel feeding bowl for her, having it delivered. Pets needed to be cared for properly, and there were some Faunus products that you could buy. It was delivered within the hour? Okay, they got Amazon delivery in Vale, apparently.
Amazon 3.0.
Yeah,
Well,
there's Jeff Bezos. He's not even like
drone
it's not even like Adolf Schmittler or anything like that. It's just literally Jeff Bezos.
Just fucking Jeff Bezos. One of the perks of having the
Hey,
best
when's Tony
services
Blair
in
showing up?
Oh god.
That's later. I'm not even kidding, that's later.
Finding a sharp knife and carving the letters into it was a little harder, as Ash kept a careful watch over him. She had always been in the background whenever his mother was around, but Father had said that she was there for him no matter what. She'd been the personal nursemaid to him, so it was like a personal attendant. He wrapped it in some wrapping paper. No, he wrapped it in some wrapping penises. And applied the tape to keep it closed. He was going to give it to Tara immediately.
Signing the requisite forms for ownership to transfer it over to the Faunus was just a good practice of his own signature, as he put the forms down to be handled by whatever Faunus had the task of handling the mail today, all properly inventoried. Saffron! His older sister turned, smiling at him with that smile that looked a little better. She'd been sickly for most of his life, and Tara sat next to her, Saffron's fingers brushing through her hair. It was a nice sight. He could see Saffron's eyes meet his own. "Hello there, little brother. This is Tara." He pulled out his gift and saw the amused smile on Saffron's face grow. Tara just watched, not sure what to do. He'd written, "Tara," on the tag that he'd attached to it. She got up and took the gift, trying to offer it to Saffron, uncertain about whether she should. Animals didn't really know that better than that, really. Even Ash had said that they were all animals in some manner. I mean, yes, but that's everybody. Their trait's only a physical hint. He wondered whether he could get a pet Faunus of his own. He'd be debuting in 3 years' time himself, to be formally announced as the Inheritor Arc.
Ah, Tara. What do we say to the master?
She looked like she didn't understand what was being said, looking at Saffron with a questioning look in her brown eyes. He noticed that Saffron's face held a small smile as her fingers brushed over Tara's scalp. "Master Jean?" Wait. Master Jean? She guessed, trying to sound like she knew what was being said. Saffron looked at him and smiled. It was more gentle and indulgent than anything else as she tapped her Faunus on the head. "No, you stupid little animal." Tiara whimpered.
Tiara?
Tiara whimpered, obviously expecting the punishment.
Is there a bilake? I need to find a bilake in here.
Yeah, I'd like a B latte, no soy, please.
Where's Aaron?
Where is Adam?
Damn. I love that.
Alright then, wrong.
I'm gonna be watching you.
She held out the gift again, and he sighed. The girl obviously hadn't been trained well if she couldn't understand such simple things, or she couldn't read. Well,
Oh, well, gee, maybe if she couldn't write, do you think she couldn't read either, genius?
well, she could spell, so she clearly knew how to.
No,
had
she
some
could.
grasp.
No, she couldn't spell. He said that she vocalized the letters and he had to write it down.
Well, the letter was Saffron's responsibility. It's for you. I signed the paperwork, so it's all yours. The girl started to cry. Faunus were just animals after all, easily brought to emotions. I mean, yes, but that's women in general. Camellia could go on small speeches about the nature of the unworthy Faunus race, being good for nothing except pain and terror, but he could see it. She gingerly unwrapped it after being given permission to open it up, looking at the metal bowl that had been etched with her name. She was crying now, looking at it and then at him. "Thank you for the gift, Master Ark." Wait, "Thank you for the gift, Master Ark," is what you're supposed to say now, you dumb little mutt. Saffron's voice said in a low whisper, and Tara looked at him. She looked almost touched. If the animal could feel such emotions, yes, they can, you stupid monster! They were just slaves, after all. They had no rights and could... they probably had limited...
Beep boop. I am a robot. Beep boop beep. Ladies and gentlemen, then that was the night Kitty died. That was the sound of Kitty dying. Rest in peace.
Well, shit, Courier, I guess the bet's off. Kitty was the first one to die, not you.
Oh my
I know, man.
God,
That's
I
shocking.
fucking can't. I fucking can't. They had no rights. And thus have no emotions.
Yeah, way to make nobody in this story any capacity of being likable at all.
Lord! Oh my god!
The only character who was good and innocent you killed off too because you're an asshole. Breathe, kitty, breathe.
I fucking can't. That comes out of absolutely nowhere. Okay, let's see if I can function now. Probably not, but let's try. Thank you for
Just like
thinking.
take your
Mr.
fist and then bite into your first finger. The pain will make you stop laughing. You'll be able to breathe.
Saffron smiled as Tara turned the bowl over a few times, just looking at it. He brushed through her hair as well, her ears a little too floppy for him. Are you making her prettier, Saffron? His older sister... Oh, no. His older sister's fingers touched his own hands, brushed... As his hands brushed through her hair, she shook her hair lightly.
Her hair.
Pity about the ears. He didn't really like floppy ears. He was more of a cat person, really. Though he knew that they'd never be allowed in the household. Allergies sucked for some of his sisters. Tara just kept looking at the bowl as if it was the most important thing in the world to her. Where did you get her? Saffron shrugged. She didn't really involve herself much with the outside world, preferring to laze about in the house and keep herself occupied with reading. Father bought her at the auction. I'm ready for the responsibility. Tara's eyes looked at him, and she whispered the same words again, though they sounded actually emotionless now. Animals were incapable of feeling such things for their masters and mistresses. The general belief went. Oh, it's so fucking cartoonish.
No, really.
It is so fucking cartoonish. How do you...
I'm expecting Tim Curry to just pop up and be like, I'm going to the one place not soiled by capitalism. Space! It wouldn't be any fucking weirder than what's going on here.
I mean, if these were robots, I could see it.
Oh my lord almighty, oh my god.
I would say even your fucking dog can feel emotions, you dumbass.
He knew that most of the others of their standing would not treat their faunas very well. The entertainment being a little scary at times, but it should be of little consequence. I hope you'll make my sister happy, Tawa. She nodded her ears, flopping a few times. She looked at him as if he'd given her a reprieve from her collar. Saffron carried the button with her at all times, just in case Tara turned out to be one of those bad funners he'd heard about. Like the one that tried to bite his dick off. No.
Or the one who violently raped your sister multiple times, or the one who, you know what? I'm not going to spoil that yet. Keep going.
Now, more than 5 years later, he could say that Tara had grown into a good faunus. Ash had taken her under her wing, teaching her the necessary skills to be a good attendant. It was something that Tara had taken pride in, he could tell. She was perfectly respectable to everyone, a compliment given to Saffron for rearing her well, which his sister always deflected with some polite words. Master Jean. He shook himself from his brief musing, knowing that it was perhaps best to focus on things in the present rather than the past. Tara's eyes implored him. Please, speak with the mistress. For a moment, he could almost imagine that Tara was like a human girl, asking him to talk to their lover, degenerate. He wished that he could understand where that feeling came from, because Tara looked so human to him right now, without the trait that made her a beast. I'll do that, he said, walking towards the second bedroom that belonged to Saffron, knocking on the door lightly. Saffron! A low stumbling sound as someone moved, the door opening to unveil his sister, a haggard look on her face, giving a once-over, and then nodding. Get it out, Jean. The door opened a little and you could smell the scent of sex, mixing with some of the other scents that weren't very pleasant.
Saffron had been active, her body looking a little pale, eyes a little bloodshot. The smell was so strong he made a face.
No wonder Blake looked like she'd been through the ringer. Tara fetched you, like the good dog she is, didn't she?
There was an accusatory tone in her voice as Saffron ran her fingers through her hair, looking at her slave with a derisive look.
She was decidedly less than pleased at this moment. She swayed as she stood her looking restlessly, her eyes darting around the room. Mistress, you must rest. Master Jean would want you to be at your best for tomorrow's meeting with your mother and the Lady Rose. Saffron didn't deny it, looking at him with a moody expression in her face. You can worry about things later, Jean. I don't have that. Fuck, I hate this.
She had another betrothal request, didn't she? She wasn't a bad woman, he knew. Just the fact that she liked the female body over the male one was something that he didn't really appreciate. Because she's a degenerate.
Degeneracy! Don't worry, you'll be fucking her soon enough. It's all fine.
A little bit of incest never hurt nobody. Except for the kid.
My little brother is going to be married to fall. I'm not sure that I should sleep knowing that he'll be married off before me. She could have picked the easy way out and went for the highest bidder. The sums that were being thrown around for Saffron's hand would make the family's wealth grow even more.
Your father had been adamant that Saffron had the right to choose her spouse. Something that he didn't have the option to.
Breathe, you prick! Quit doing that! I know this fucker doesn't know how to fucking make pronunciation work. He's like the fucking author of Tarzan. Just run on sentences forever. No pause to fucking take a breath. But for the love of God, take breaths, damn you!
With 7 sisters, it was a loosening of the bonds. But for him, the only boy, ellipsis, period. What do you think of Lady Rose and her daughter, Ruby? He
I'd
asked
hit that.
gingerly.
You saw her look at him for a moment before she offered a small smile. Good lineage, meritorious deeds. The young one is debuting on the ball, right? He nodded. Ruby was going to make her splash in the pool of the people who mattered in this world, and she would probably hate him for what he was going to do.
I thought he was going to make a smart-ass comment, like, she's going to make a splash in the pool. Let's hope she doesn't fall face first and break her neck.
No, because that would be somewhat clever writing. Not really. It would not be clever writing, but it's too complicated for the author.
Yes, I'm going to see Ruby in the afternoon, probably. Period.
Period. Oh, wait, no. Ellipsis 2 full stops.
Full stop. He'd have to find a good quill. It was formal writing, so a quill would be needed. No! He could always
You don't say.
No, I'm saying no, literally. You don't use quills for formal writing.
Oh, I was saying no. He says he has to find a good quill. He needed a quill. I'm like, wow, no shit. Amazing. Thank you, Sonny.
So a quill would be needed. He could always get the copy written up by Ash. She had a very steady hand and more legible penmanship, but it was important that he write the main proposal. The head of the family or the highest representative would have to agree, which was his mother, probably. Father wasn't scheduled to return just yet. Good. Well, thanks. Saffron sounded distracted as she looked at Tara and opened the door a little more.
Jesus.
Jean could see a harness laid on the bed, a bottle of lube ready already. A small smattering of sympathy for Tara as he gave her a light pat on her butt. She gave him a little nod, smiling at him softly. Sleep well, Master Jean. If you wish me to guide you to your pet. If you wish me to guide your bad pet, I will do my best. He wasn't sure about that. He had a lot of work to do first, but he should head back to bed. Saffron's door clicked shut with the hush of silence silence! Falling over the hallway, hearing the faint conversation behind the door pick up. Saffron and
The
Madeline
sound
not very pleased at this moment.
Of
He
silence.
slipped back into his room, nearly silent, watching the lumps in the bed. Juniper had shifted in her sleep, and Yang was currently having her neck nibbled on. The finest looking at him with a smile. He hardened his underwear pad bulge standing out as she grinned saucily at him, licking her lips and mouthing something at him that was probably crude if you could see it through the low lighting. Faunus had night vision, or so he'd been told. Juniper turned around and mumbled something about the cold, his sister's arms wrapping around him and holding him like a teddy bear. It was okay to be with his big sister, he knew. Juniper needed her rest. He'd just give her that rest. Okay,
Wow, such thrilling dialogue.
You fucking read while I clear my throat.
Oh, and I get to read Blake. Yay!
Oh, I didn't even know that. This would be that part. You're welcome.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, you asshole. She awoke in the morning, having drifted off into the land of dreams. Gay dreams. Faces that she knew were looking at her, accusing her of being a monster. The execution of the four. The shame that they had faced as a race by having the exalted ones be beheaded. Her grandfather's role in the surrender. I'm not a traitor. The blonde doe faunus was asleep, she could tell. The eyes were lightly closed, and there was a slow, relaxed breathing that came out of the woman's mouth. That massive chest of hers putting Blake's own to shame. Blake knew that she did not cut the most beautiful figure, but to see those full mounds stand there at such a close distance was just making her feel inferior. No, she is the traitor, the one who is submitted to humanity. The thought was a lingering one in her mind, as she could smell the humans in the room. Her master, the rapist who had raped her, his scent mingling with that of the dog faunus, Terra, her own growing wetter at the feeling of her abused holes. No! No! Don't give in! She licked her lips, raising from her position at the edge of the bed a little. His older sister, the one who had beaten the tar out of her before, was asleep beside him. Brother and sister half entangled together, the sisters suckling on his neck like some sort of strange leech, almost as peculiar as...
Oh, dear God.
almost peculiar as the warmth that entered her nethers. The thought of, no, you're a proud faunus. Slowly, she pulled the covers up, a steel-like hand grabbing a hold of hers all of a sudden. Make another move, and I'll break your hand.
Ooh,
The doe faunus spoke up. Her eyes. What I want you to do is motorboat my pussy. The doe faunus spoke up, her eyes opening and Blake felt a shudder go through her, looking into those eyes that were deadly serious, her pussy growing wetter at the sight of those merciless eyes. A thought of being between two blondes, one hissing her in her ear that she was a bad faunus slave, and the other, her master, pumping into her with that hard
God, fucking Lol is missing out on this one. That son of a bitch.
The motherfucker. Her breathing quickened a little as her tongue slid over her lips. Her aching hole still burned with the humiliation of the degenerates, remembering the insults that both had slung at her. The choking had been the least worrisome, as the two had stopped for a moment afterwards to give her time to recover. The degenerate human had taken the dog faunus, making her bark like a real animal as she rutted against Blake's butt. Like a slave. Disgusting. She wouldn't meow for the master, even if he told her to. She was getting so aroused, though, her nipples as hard as they could get, her breathing faster, as the disgusted look in the blonde doe's eyes increased. That was making her feel hotter, somehow. She felt sick in her mind as she grew even wetter. Yes, you are very sick, in so many ways. You're sick in the mind, Cat. You know what? We're going to wake up the master we're going to wake the master up in a fun way. For him. A hand grabbed her neck easily as the covers were tugged away by using the Excuse me? A hand grabbed her neck easily as the covers were tugged away by using the hand on her own. Okay. The big busty doe faunus getting up, tucking the bed covers back in. Blake's faunus ears flattened against her scalp. The other faunus was better in shape than she was in better shape than she was. Someone who looked like she could easily win the attention of a mate, one who would be the prize of a community. The tugging of her hands behind her back and the feeling of cool metal against her wrists was a surprise, as the Dauphin smirked, looking into her eyes for the longest of moments. And what better way to make sure that you make the master happy than giving your pussy up, pussycat? A shiver worked its way through Blake's body, imagining the feeling of being between two hard shafts. She was unable to use her hands, and she was on display, feeling her master fuck her, feeling the dough fuck her other hole, hearing them pant and moan and groan, and she shouldn't think like this, but her pussy was wetter than it had ever been. No doubt thanks to the treatment of the dog and its mistress it would also be bruised and bleeding, probably, but... I'm a proud Faunus. She tried, but only managed to finish the first bit. She was proud about her race, her origin, and she was getting wet as she had those horrible thoughts about such a thing. A thrill surged through her, and she saw that look in her fellow slave's eyes. Listen, cat. The blonde tone was not friendly, as a finger pressed against Blake's bruised labia. Oh my god, I hate everything. The feeling of it pushing against... So is it on the labia, or is it on her... Fuck it, whatever. The feeling of it pushing against the fabric, making a tingle go through her. A proud faunus serves her owner with your fucking bruised, bloody, bleeding vagina. The thought of serving a man, of... Ooh...
Serving a man of... Ooh...
Ooh... Disgusting.
Fucking walrus mating noises, guys. Come on.
Disgusting.
Courier, you getting horny yet reading this?
No, I want to blow
Are you
my
never
brain-
gonna have sex again?
No, I want to blow my brains out with a Glock. Disgusting. Getting wet because of the feelings you've got for the wrong sister. The wrong sister? Don't you mean any sister? No? Okay. Well, we'll fix that. Also, great word choice here. Using well and then wheel right afterwards. Beautiful.
Well, wheel.
Well,
Wow.
wheel.
Wheel.
Well,
thanks.
wheel.
See,
Great.
that would be a
I
good
love it.
place for an ellipsis. Well, we'll fix
We'll
that.
fix that. Yes. Yes. Instead, you just put a goddamn comma. What? No. That freak deserves to be punished. She's wrong. Blake opened her mouth, only to have the dough stuff something into her mouth. The taste of fabric and something else a little heavier. Obviously the underwear that the dough had worn. The taste of a woman's sex was gross, in Blake's personal opinion, but it shut her up. That's what you are, little pussycat. A degenerate woman lover. Getting wet at the sight of me. She was suddenly pushed down onto the bed, and her underwear was torn off her groin, leaving her pussy to feel the sudden coolness of the room. Master Jean, the soft voice of the dough, seemed to arouse the young man, his eyes opening. Blake could see him look at her direction, even as the woman spread her legs. Due to her arms being locked behind her back, Blake couldn't get the woman to stop trying to kick and move, but the hands that kept her legs spread were like a set of steel bars, keeping them open, keeping her on display. I thought you might like a little treat. The teasing voice was at odds with the arousal that the dough showed. The heat that had blossomed between her legs noticed immediately by Blake's senses. The dough leaving nothing to chance as she spread Blake's legs as her master got up. Kitty here needs a good hard dose of your manly spunk. The thought of him...
Hear that, kitty? You're getting some spunk now.
Oh, yes, I need some spunk to
Isn't
relieve
that-
my pain.
Isn't that right? You're getting that Cummins in there.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Also, I would...
coming myself already.
Also, did you guys know that, the different in terms of country origins of the word spunk? In America, spunk usually means like you got spunk kid or whatever, like you got spirit. But in Britain, that doesn't exist over in Britain. They don't associate it with spirit. It's just purely semen.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think it was either Pepsi or Coca-Cola, they tried to do an advertising campaign saying if you got spunk or whatever, and when they went over to England, it did not go well. So yeah.
It's just like if this was made in England, she wouldn't be calling him a rapist. She'd be calling him a struggle snuggler.
Struggle smuggler.
No, get it right. You'd be calling him an immigrant.
An immigrant. Jesus Christ. Okay. This has been your educational moment followed by racism. Thank you for coming. Anyway, I have to read this now. I'm going to read it in a robot voice because I don't care. The thought of him coming inside her made her feel conflicted. Also, if you're going to write coming in that sense, use a you, please. Please. Thank you. She looked at the blonde doe, whose gaze looked down at her with a look that made her quiver. The doe was stronger than she was, and she knew that she should not rebel so openly, but it was hard not to when she felt the need inside her. Awesome. Great, thank you. Oh, and my lovely dear girl has prepared her for her master, hasn't she? The human's voice was light and joking, even with him getting up. His sister just dropped her hands, not quite waking up. A low grumbling coming from her lips, but Blake's eyes were resting at his groin. His erection was already there, and the doe was brushing her fingers over the bulge, looking at the man whilst radiating an aura of desire. Also, don't use aura in that context in a world where you fucking have the magical power of aura. It's just lazy, or not lazy writing, it's bad writing,
No, she
technically.
exudes a horniness power that makes everybody horny, you see.
Wow, holy shit, you're right, that's amazing. Her eyes never sliding from him. Blake imagined that she could leave whilst the doe was entranced, if she'd had the freedom of motion, but the woman just looked at him as if he was the best. Soon Yang, he said, using the doe's name. The human was insistent on using the name of her pet. The human was insistent on using the name of her pet. His pet? His pet. I guess John's a woman now, guys. Interesting. And she was just Kitty. You hear that, Kitty? She didn't like that much. She was Blake, not Kitty. She got
Look,
wet.
would you
soon.
want to be me? No, you
No.
wouldn't.
No.
So I don't blame
Nobody-
Blake here.
No, nobody would want to be you, and nobody would want to be me. Okay, we each are our own person.
Exactly.
She got wet as soon as the doe unveiled his manhood with a little tug. It was not like Adam's, which she had seen before the doe had torn it off, but it was sizable and probably just a shade bigger. A low groan of lustful need from the blonde doe traitor, her fingers stroking over the shaft slowly. Blake could see it throb, could see the veins preparing to pump hot blood to make it even harder. That's going to go inside of me. A shudder went through her.
This is not sexy. This is just anti-sexy.
I know, that's what I'm going for with my voice. Also, that's the only... If I tried to read this in my normal voice, I would, I would die of cringe, okay? It's a medical condition, I would die of cringe. So I have to read it in these voices to make it more entertaining.
God, imagine how fucking awesome it would be if we had the money to pool together to get Filthy Frank to read this shit.
No.
Konnichiwa, you dumb bastards.
We're
shudder.
We're never pulling him out of his music career now.
I mean, he is happy.
I
you
know.
fair enough.
I miss Joji though, but I'm glad that he's doing good because he deserves it.
What the fuck is going on? Weird. The gag that, a shudder went through her. The gag that had put in her mouth moistening as she salivated. The brief vision of being with the man and declaring her love for him came again, and she shivered once more, her eyes watching that shaft as the blonde slid her tongue over its delicate flesh, preparing him for her. I'm not going to enjoy this. I won't. I'm not some cat in heat, willing to let a human breed her. I'm strong. She hadn't been wrong. She hadn't been wrong. She hadn't been wrong, and this was just a natural urge. He watched her, and she saw the look in his eyes change. His manhood seemed to grow limper whilst he looked at her. Ooh, damn!
The sexiness
queer.
is gone.
A queer sensation inside her grew, displeasure at his reaction. Wasn't she good enough? Was it bad? Wasn't it bad enough that she was here on display, ready for him to mate with her? He was already drooping a little. It's not you, Yang. I want my first time with you to be special. When he addressed her, it grew harder. A spike of jealousy inside her welled up fiercely.
It's not you, it's me. Honestly, I never had problems getting it up before.
She didn't like him, but to be insulted like that, as if she was just someone who was a chore. She was Blake Belladonna, goddammit, daughter of the Panther. Master, every time I am near you is special. The words were uttered gently, but the look in his eyes when he looked at the doe was, why does he look at you like that? His gaze went to her, and she felt a cold hand grip her heart, watching those blue eyes look at her. Shame and something that was like disgust shuddered through her body as she saw those eyes peer into her own. Use another word other than eyes, Jesus fucking Christ. Watching those blue eyes look at her.
Ocular lobes.
She saw those eyes peer into her own, find something else. A long moment of staring and watching. Looking at her like a man who owned the world and her collar. Distant. Cold. A touch of something in those eyes that she'd seen in Adam for a moment when they'd been together, and she'd listened to him speak of the good old days. It made her feel bad. It made her feel unwanted. The day before, she might have felt a spike of savage satisfaction at such a look, but now, the gripping feeling of something came to crash. The gripping feeling of something came to crash into her. That's a sentence. Ugh. That blunt cockhead was being caressed by the doe's gentle hand as the doe looked down at her with a similarly cold look. Stop looking at me as if I'm the disgusting one. He's wrong. He's wrong. Why are you looking at me like that? Why? He turned to her. Why? He turned to her fellow slave and his pet once more. He turned to her fellow slave and his pet once more, and she saw the change ripple over his features, the little smile on his lips turning into something more, as he gave a light kiss to the faunus's cheek. The bright red blush that came to the woman's cheeks was embarrassing to their race, to show such a feelings for a human, but it was, traitor to your blood. We'll make you feel good, master. We'll make you feel good, master. Allow this whore to go... A finger against her lips as he shook his head. His eyes were understanding. They were kind eyes, similar eyes, eyes that looked at eyes with
God,
eyes of
fuck,
eyes.
Stop.
Don't you see the eyes looking at your eyes of eyes, eyes?
Jesus Christ, is everybody in this fucking novel infected with the G virus and just sprouting fucking eyeballs all the time? What the fuck?
That would make so much more sense. Similar eyes that her mother would have had when she met a small young child. Why? Why can you look at her, or why can you look like that? Why can you look like that? That's not a sentence. Why can you look at her like that? Not why can you look like that at her? Jesus Christ. Why am I getting those looks? You mean why aren't I getting those looks? Why am I not getting those looks? Jesus, you're missing entire words.
He's missing entire sentences. Just fucking keep going.
Keep going. We'll make it. You're my yang, not my whore. He corrected her, and the dear Faunus gave another smile for him, a smile that she had seen women wear when their men went to fight for the rights that had been abolished decades ago. It was a smile of someone who loved, someone who... Blue eyes met hers, and the coldness of them was staggering. It made her feel fear. It made her feel something inside her that writhed and wriggled and ate at her. A hand grabbed her collar, and she was tugged up, her head laid back as she tried to get away, nearly raised up fully. She could see his eyes stare into hers as he spoke. You're gagged, so don't bother to respond. You're my pet. You're my slave. I am at the end of my patience with you. She wanted to say something. She wanted to say that she had enjoyed it, but something in those eyes made her feel fear. It made her realize that he was indeed one of the children of this household, and that he too held the power inside him to make the world a place without Faunus. He pointed to the traitor, who looked oddly pleased at the pointed finger, is a good Faunus. You don't understand. You probably won't understand, because you were born like a stupid animal. That hurt. It hurt to be called stupid. Well, you are. You are so stupid it fucking hurts. And that's ironic. But it hurt more to see the traitor smile at her owner. I've seen things, Blake Belladonna, that would make you cry if you even have the capacity. No, it would make her fucking jump for joy and clap. Seeing your sister get raped, she would probably be fucking thrilled. She'd be like, yeah, that's the good stuff right there.
Yeah,
'Cause
isn't one of her isn't fucking which one is the one that's insane again? That has to take medicine and like fucking
Auburn.
John himself. Yeah, John himself was like, yeah, I don't even feel safe being around her while I'm alone with her because she's obviously something very wrong with her. So like, isn't Auburn she like fucking molesting her sisters too or something like that?
No.
Uh,
Um. If you even had the capacity, right, but she wouldn't cry because she hates humanity, so she'd probably cheer about your 8-year-old sister getting violently raped. He looked down at his older sister, currently holding the pillow to her chest and making a little grunting sound as she slept. Faunus need a firm human hand to guide them. Your fate is to be slaves. His tone was calm, yet his words made her feel rage and anger. She was desiring of her freedom, to walk through the forest once more and enjoy the sun on her skin as a free Faunus. Yang understands. He paused and glanced at Yang, and that member stood ever so erect again, throbbing and twitching for a moment. She's my Yang. He looked right into her eyes then, and she felt it. Oh no. She shuddered, the tug to her collar a little rougher. She's better than you, daughter of whatever. You're nothing compared to her. A slave. My first pet, but still. His eyes were colder as he threw her down. I'm going to give you one more chance. I have seen what will happen when you animals are left to be loose from your collars. I will not let my family come to harm, but you do, repeatedly. She was wet. She was sopping wet, and he was hitting that snare for her. A protector, a man who would threaten those that tried to hurt those that he loved, and it was her who was being threatened. Her breathing grew quicker, and she saw that hard cock come ever closer. As her hips were pulled up by the other Faunus, she looked at him as the man who owned her collar and who turned her on with those words. Oh yeah, oh. Oh yeah, rub your nipples.
oh, the cringe.
It, it was passionate. It was passion in those words, a dedication that brought her to such a peak, a mingling of those feelings for the ox and something more. As she looked at him, she could see the doe's eyes look at her with a disgusted look. Really, look at her with a disgusted look. Amazing, thank
It'll
you.
be a disgusted penis otherwise, right?
Yes. Look at her disgustedly. Wow, I fixed the sentence. Good job. As the doe's hands guided that shaft to her.
Look, I can fix it even more easily. Look at her, comma, disgusted.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That can also fix it instead of disgustedly. Because that's a little bit of a tricky word to say.
Yep.
She could only moan through the gag as she felt him penetrate her again. Accursed feelings. He penetrated her like a fucking heat round penetrates an M1 Abrams tank. Accursed feelings as she felt them increase, rush through her. She was being raped, but the feeling of a protector around, after Adam had been gelded like a beast by the blonde doe. A man who would protect his woman, his mate, his woman who would protect her mate. She blinked for a moment. She blinked for a moment as he rocked her against the bed, penetrating her fully. Her eyes rolled back on her head as she came, sinful sensations rushing through her. Her bladder emptying as well. You really need to work on that problem. You have a urination fetish, and that's... Oh, sweet mother of God.
So disgusting.
Just fucking use the bathroom. Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit. As he grabbed her by the throat and slammed her head against the mattress. The bounce enough. That's another word that needs to stop. Enough. Disgusting. She wanted to say something, but could only muster another moan, as a set of burning red eyes looked down at her, the blonde doe's hands brushing over his cheek, whispering... Okay, so I'm gonna say something. The only reason she's not, like, trying to move or struggle or whatever, right, is because, like, Yang is pinning her down there, right?
No, she's not trying to move or struggle because she's enjoying it. She doesn't have to be pinned down. She's loving every second of it.
I was gonna say, she said that she would struggle if she could, if the blonde wasn't, like, holding her down, though.
Yeah, and then it changed to where now she enjoys it. And she wants it.
I hate everything. Because I was gonna say, if one of her hands is off you, or both her hands are off you, then nothing is holding you down. Fuck it, whatever. Whispering into his ears, words that she couldn't hear. Nothing but a cat who is in heat for a woman. Punish her for her degeneracy, Master Zahn. She soiled your bed. Yet again, you should really look into getting some covers for it, really. She was not a filthy degenerate. She wanted a man. A real man who would No. I do not want him. I do not want to... Their second orgasm took her by surprise, whimpering and trying to thrash as the doe looked down at her. It felt so good suddenly. It felt so good because it felt so good.
It felt so good because it felt so good.
I'm going to get some water. I can't fucking do this.
It felt so good suddenly.
It felt so good because it felt so good because it felt so awesome and she was coming again.
It hurts to read. You drove.
I hate everything so much. Just
Look, Courier, it felt so good because it felt so good because it felt so awesome that she was coming again.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Oh. God, this water tastes like noodles. Okay.
Why are you drinking noodle water?
I don't fucking know.
Generous.
The hot dog flavored water.
He drove himself into her like you'd want to drive an SUV into Rooster Teeth's studio. I'm so sorry.
I disavow.
Disavow. Her head bouncing with his, or no, sorry, against this person's, as like you want to drive an SUV through this person's house. There we go. Better.
Disavow.
Her head bouncing with his thrusts, her body small below him. As she caught sight of his face, those eyes looking at her with something resembling sentiment. Oh, I guess he cares about you again. Oh, awesome, cool. She felt her pussy clench around him as she let herself ride that wave of pleasure, bruised and battered though she was, still feeling that spark of enjoyment. The doe disappeared from sight, and she could feel hot breath tickle her nethers as a low groan came from the young man atop her, his cock giving her what she deserved, a slow grinding of that cock, his balls tickling against her flesh, and her eyes rolling back, a tongue flicking over that sack. She wanted him to come. She wanted him to come, to give her his seed, and to feel whole for once. Oh, to feel like she was desired, as she heard the slurping, smacking sound of the dough. Oh my god, this hurts to fucking read. A low, in so many ways, a low hiss of pleasure coming from him as he grew even harder inside her. Slow plunges, her buttocks battered against the mattress. Moans that were like a stifled growl coming from her mouth, as her arms chafed with the iron handcuffs holding her arms behind her back. It was defeat. It was defeat, and she was the defeated party, taken by the human who had owned her. It felt good. It felt so good, and it felt like shame and fear. The words of the four came to her, and she felt shame yet again. Was this what she had fought for? Against this? Was this man doing not to her what she had done to him? What? Was this man doing not to her what she had done to him? Did you rape him at some point? That sentence.
Was this what she had fought for against this? Was this man doing it not to her what she had done to him?
I mean, you were both assholes to each other, but you didn't rape him.
The words of the four came to her and she felt shame.
The only thing I could possibly think of that would make any sense is if she means just being like a cold-hearted bitch. But that still makes no sense. At all.
It makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense. Fuck me. The doe appeared, and her tongue licked over her lips as he stiffened, and that throb of his cock made her give a muffled groan as it swelled up inside her. He was going to come, she knew. She could feel that telltale release of Humans don't have pheromones, you dumb motherfucker. Holy goddamn. She could feel that telltale release of magical bullshit pheromones from his body as a warm heat as he started to groan. The blonde pulled him up and then seized his manhood. No, you will not take that from me too. Yeah. She saw that large cock. What the fuck do my neighbors think of me right now? Jesus Christ. She saw that large cock before her face as she realized what was going to happen. Thick splattering ropes of seed hit her in the face, the heat making her shiver as she smelled the scent of his release, the aching of her snatch like a void that opened up inside of her. He came on my face. That's it. All over her face. She isn't worthy of the blessing of your seed, master. The traitor. I hate everything. The traitor's words pounded home that message as the last droplets fell onto her breast. Jesus Christ. Either his cock is really powerful or his cock must be 3 feet long. Jesus Christ. Blake looked up at the man who owned her, her mouth still stuffed, but the smell of his seed in her nostrils, telling her that he hadn't spent himself inside her. I could have...
God, I just hate how that's fucking described. That just calling it the seed, like, ugh, that's just fucking cringe. Ugh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, just fucking say semen or cum or something.
That actually reminds me of a joke about how one dude was talking with his father-in-law, and he goes, "Oh, I see you're trying for a baby, right?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, that's the polite way of saying it. Would you rather say I'm just nutting in your daughter on the down low?"
He could have looked at her like the doe, he could have looked at her like he looked at the doe. He could have been with her like her father had been with her mother. It could have been. The bitter pill was swallowed as she realized it. She'd been too focused on the fight to consider the other options. As his cockhead laid against her nose, she could inhale that thick scent. Jesus fucking Christ. It's him. Also, fucking keep this in mind where Blake just seems like she wants to just fuck and she's fine with everything at this point. It's important because she turns into the fucking crazy lunatic ranting traitor again for the next 30 chapters, so... The words were painful to hear. This whole story is painful to hear, as Blake knew what she was. A traitor. Someone who had betrayed her family. The other traitor was still... right. She nudged her nose against his cock, and she moved her jaw a little, looking at him. He looked down at her, the strictness in his eyes now gentler, as his gaze looked into hers. You can learn, Blake. Yang knows better than you. A soft smile directed at the doe faunus as the blonde stroked that shaft. A dollop. Somebody used the thesaurus. A dollop of seed coming from the head of that shaft.
I thought you said somebody used a force, and I'm like, what?
No, somebody used a thesaurus. A dollop, cool. Of seed
Oh
coming...
yeah, a fucking unit of measurement that nobody fucking uses anymore. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm fucking glad I even know what a goddamn dollop is. Okay. Drilling down her face. It was humiliating to have somebody fucking come all over your face. Yeah, probably. It was humiliating. It was humiliating, and she looked into the lilac eyes of the other faunus and saw triumph. Triumph and victory. Because she had been a good moment of pleasure. No, I'll have Saffron take you as her pet. Don't worry, she treats Tara reasonably well. No! The utterance was muffled by the underwear as she felt the phantom pain of that degenerate taking her again. The master was at least calmer when he did it, rather than just pushing in without warning. The choking had been the worst, as the barrage of insults had been the breaking point. It's a pity, because you are quite beautiful. A small dash of pride welled up, as the fear squashed it immediately. She did not want to be the toy of that woman. She wouldn't survive it. She shook her head, trying to say no to the way that they were discussing selling her to the Saffron sister. God damn, these sentences are hard to read. Master, should I carry her to Lady Saffron's bedroom? The question from the traitor was loud as Blake started to cry. She didn't want to be with a degenerate woman. No, I think I'll... His hand pulled the underwear out of her mouth, his gaze meeting hers with that same cool stare in his eyes. His cock still hung before her, the smell of his seed in the air, inhaled with every single breath. The cloying What the fuck is a cloying smell?
Cloying smell? Cloying is like, must.
Excessively sweet, rich, or sentimental, especially to a disgusting or sickening degree. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Merriam-Webster. Oh fuck, oh shit. Shit, I closed the story by accident. Hold on, just give me a sec.
The cloying smell making her pussy feel the ache. Speak fast. My
No,
time
motherfucker,
is precious.
I'm finishing this, goddammit. I'm finishing this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, you're enjoying yourself, aren't you?
I'm enjoying the fact that I get to sound like a fucking nutcase, like the way I don't get to talk like this normally, and it's fucking great. I don't enjoy anything I'm reading, but I'm enjoying at least the fact that I'm able to read, so yeah. The cloying smell making her pulsive, feel the ache. Oh! Speak, Faunus, my time is precious. He didn't even call her by her name now, addressing her like she was just some featureless Faunus slave. Tell me, why should you not be carried to my sister like the sick beast you are? She wasn't a sick beast, because I like your cock. The shout was enough to rouse the sleeping woman from her sleep, her eyes flickering open and her body straightening, groping for her weapon and turning to the origination of that sound, the origin of that sound. Fuck you. Spotting the
That
three
would have been funny if she was fucking like groggily reaches for her gun and accidentally shoots someone. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Shoots
She was
her
like,
brother
okay,
in
we're
the head.
taking your gun privileges away, lady, because you don't know what you're doing.
Fucking shoots her in the head. Spotting the three of them, the master's cock hanging in front of her face. The mean bitch got a look on her face. A look on her face that looked with her eyes as she enough look as she tried to puzzle out why she'd gotten into the bed. My, quite a mouth on her, don't you think? She's just an animal who thinks with her sex. You could just say vagina, pussy, any other word other than sex. Her master said, and she hissed at him. She thought with more parts of her body than her sex. No, you don't. The fist that hit her in the side of the head from the blonde sister was enough to make her hurt. You! The blonde faunus grabbed her by the collar and jerked her up, looking her into the eyes. She felt a spike of fear through her as the blonde stared into her eyes. She felt very small and very afraid as she looked at the eyes that were slowly turning a deeper purple color. If I never hear the word eyes or looked or enough ever again, those three words, I will be a happy man. Master, your other...
Hey, Courier.
Mhm.
Courier. Look me in the eyes, Courier. I'm the insanity now.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I'm the
Look at
captain.
me. I am Captain No.
I'm captain now. Master, your other pet is... everybody, if you've never seen Captain Phillips, it's a great movie. Go watch it. It's much better than this shit. Master, your other pet... And Tom Hanks is amazing. Master, your other pet is being bad. He watched as she was thrown back, laying there like a doll, her arms aching still. She's a traitor to her family. She had betrayed her father and her mother, who had willingly entered slavery, even negotiating terms as they had. How do you negotiate? Fuck it. It had been nearly 6 years ago when Adam had been around and the White Fang still had recruited members. You are a disgrace to the Faunus, Blake Belladonna. The damnation in the voice of the other Faunus made her rile up, her eyes blazing. She was not a disgrace, even if she had betrayed her family. She loved the Faunus with her whole heart and would fight for them. And you are a traitor to your blood, desiring to be enslaved. Your family would cast you out for desiring it. The words came out, and she realized that she'd said something that she couldn't take back. No shit. The humans looked without much change, but those lilac eyes were looking at her with
With a look that didn't tell her much. They were looking at her with a look.
Stop it. Just for the love of everything in the known universe, for the love of fucking everything, just please, stop it. Stop with this bullshit.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Also, what the fuck is this word? At least I don't love
It's a eunuch.
eunuch, Blake. The fuck is a eunuch?
Somebody who's been castrated.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Another thesaurus word.
No, it's the actual term. It's just not used very often, so people forgot it or forgetting it.
Probably because I don't look up fucking definitions for someone who's been castrated. So, at least I don't love a eunuch, Blake. Your ox screamed like a girl when I tore his genitals off. The soft voice of the other faunus pet was threatening as anger showed through it, as the woman's looked into her eyes, grabbing her by the throat with the hand that felt impossibly strong. There was a glint in those eyes that was like a flame, like a burning inferno that threatened to break loose at any moment and strangle the author of this piece of shit who can't fucking use any other goddamn words. Blake felt the fear wrap around her as she looked into those eyes that were slowly darkening in their color.
Just want to remind everyone who's listening to this fan fiction has more words in it than the fucking King James Version Bible.
This fanfic has more words than the goddamn Bible, both New and Old
And
Testament.
and it's not even done. It's not even finished.
No, seriously, I'm gonna count this, right? In that this isn't even a paragraph either. This isn't a paragraph. This is like, I don't even know what this is. This is not a paragraph, right? Let's call this half a paragraph. So in half a paragraph, looked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The words looked and eyes are used like 5 times in half a paragraph. Are you shitting me? And when I catch that degenerate half man that was with him, I will make sure that she knows all the pleasures of being with a man. A crazed grin, as those feral eyes looked into hers. A shiver, as the blonde.
Look at her with a look.
I'm going to lose it. I'm going to fucking lose. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Stop using the same goddamn words.
It is used 172 times in this chapter. Just look.
Are you counting?
I just hit Control F. Look. Let's see eyes. 111 for eyes.
Holy shit. Jesus. Is that how you do it? Is that how fucking Control F? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's so stupid.
What about look? Let's fucking see.
171.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Oh no.
It is so...
Oh.
I think we know this author's favorite fucking word.
Mm-hmm. What about enough? Where's enough? They're using it less this fucking chapter. Where's enough?
6 times.
Okay. At least they're fucking improving on that front. That's something, I guess. A crazed grin as those feral tacos perused into hers. That's it. Anytime the word eyes or look, I'm going to replace it with a nonsense word. I'm sorry. A shiver as the blonde ding-donged at her with that stupa that promised death. That was Ilya.
Her face pussy.
Was talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna replace eyes with cock and looked with pussy, okay? A shiver as the blonde pussied at her with that pussy that promised death. There we go, perfect. That was...
That's even funnier, dude. But I have the fucking sense of humor of a child, so I'm laughing my ass off.
That was Ilya that the doe was talking about, and the conflicted feelings about her friend, in one part about her degeneracy, and another about those feelings of friendship that were still bounding through her mind. And I will make sure that the master lives. It is slavery or death, cat. You can insult me all you wish. You can insult my ancestors. You can insult my own self. The doe turned to the man who had just fucked her, who had made her come, who made her feel like he was different. Different from humans that raped, pillaged poor Faunus, but also different and different. It was hard to describe. But my master, there was a soft tone to that voice as the faunus came closer and then stared into the other blonde's blue penises. There was no response from him. Seeing him pussy into the other blonde's penises as well. It was, guys. This is where we're at now. I'm sorry, people. If you don't like what I'm doing, go
It
fuck
works. It's funny. It works.
know.
It's not torture anymore.
I'm sorry, everybody. If you don't like what I'm saying, go fuck yourself. Oh, and this is great. Why does she get that pussy? Where was my person? My master owns my collar. Her hand grabbed his and placed it on her collar, still looking into his penises, not even blinking. And I am the one who will die for him, if it means he would live. A deep, heavy sigh as the young man's penis is closed, a shuddering exhale from the other blood.
As young man's penis closed, a shining exhale from the other blood.
The moment was gone, and his penises opened again. You guys seeing how many times the word eyes and looked are used? Jesus Christ.
Keep this as a thing. We need to keep this as a
We're
thing.
keeping
And
this
then
as a
when Lol and Corper come in for the next one, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Where's the penis?
We're doing this. This is a thing now. This is a new. I'm writing this down. Hold on. We're doing this.
Replace eyes with penis and look with vagina.
Yes, or pussy. Pussy's fucking flows better. Blake watched as lilac penises peered into blue, and there was a moment where they seemed to just behold each other before he dipped down first, kissing her on the lips with a kiss that was as soft and sensual as in the tales her mother had told her about her own meeting with Gira. Oh. Her heart felt pain as she saw that moment of their kiss, as it was unforced and without any hesitation, lasting only a few seconds, but the explosion of pheromones from the dough took her by surprise. She watched them, and felt as if she was intruding on something that she shouldn't be intruding upon. There was a feeling inside her, as she couldn't suddenly breathe, watching how the two merely stared at each other. She watched as the dough's lips parted to speak, and he seemed to open his mouth at the same time, freezing in place at the same time. Same time. That moment of just pussying at each other just hurt. It was painful, her chest hurting at the sight of the two of them, just trying to find words. I'm all for making out with someone I like, but please, don't kid yourself that the animals feel anything for you, John. You're their owner, not their partner. They don't have emotions except raping and killing for humans, except those that get taught the reward for obedience. Juniper Ark's voice cut through that moment, and the blonde doe's gaze slid down, her antlers almost pointing straight upwards, the master's penises looking a little dazed. I like her, the soft words from his mouth, as he vaginaed or pussied at her as well, his penis is tender. And you, a moment of hesitation, as he fixed her with that strict pussy, she whimpered softly, as those penises softened for a moment, and he gave her a light smile. I like you too. Really? I thought you just said that you don't fucking like her, you dumb motherfucker. Her head hurt as she pussied into his penises.
Yeah, you see how when you change the word to something else and then you start counting it a lot more, you're noticing this thing is coming up a fucking lot.
A lot, yeah.
171 times it's used.
171 plus like 181 or something, or 182, so grand total of like over 400 times. Everything did not matter as she looked right into those eyes, right into those penises. As she vaginaed right into those penises. I'm sorry, everybody. I lost my mind for a moment, okay? And felt that sinking feeling. He was the enemy. He was a human, but this is wrong.
I can't fucking breathe.
She shouldn't feel like
too
this.
hard.
She should rage and boil with vengeance like Andu on a constant fucking daily basis. But she couldn't. She couldn't muster that indignation. She couldn't muster that rage, because it was true. She liked him, even if he was a human. She liked a human. Awesome, you realize that, but it'll be another 50 chapters before you stop treating him like a pile of shit. She'd enjoyed it. The gag was a nuisance, but she'd came. She felt that moment of blanking out and that strictness that he held, the way that he used her. She was owned and she was a slave, and she had liked it. The doe loved it, as she loved the young master. He's let me keep my tongue in my ears. He doesn't rate me every moment of the day whenever he catches a fancy. It was stupid of her. Adam had been wrong. Why had she believed in his ideal of revolution when all it got you was a grave? Where was that savior that was meant to guide them? Master Jean? Her voice was tiny. Master Jean? Her voice was tiny, tender. He smiled at her, and she felt weaker than she ever had before, but stronger as well. She felt stronger, and she hated it. She hated it. I slaughtered them like animals.
I slaughtered them like animals.
But not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Because
I
they're
hate
like
sand.
sand.
It's coarse and gets
I
everywhere.
hate them. She
You were my
hated-
brother, Anakin. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. I hate you.
bring balance to
Well,
the
enjoy
Force,
being a
not
Rice
to the
Krispie, bitch.
darkness. We're just going to episode 3 memes now, Jesus Christ. She
We hit
hated
the point
that
where prequel memes are more entertaining than this.
Oh, absolutely. We should watch fucking Star Wars Episode 3 too. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
She hated that it made her feel warm and protected. Did I just have a stroke reading that? She hated that it made her feel warm and protected by his warmth. No, I didn't have a stroke read. Dude, I swear to God, I legitimately thought I was having like a fucking stroke or something for a second. Jesus. Can I clean your manhood? She wished for a taste, a little taste of what had been wasted on her face. The doe pussied at her, a suspicious pussy on her face. He pussied at her, and there was something in his penises that shifted, a coolness that made her feel worse. You may. It was. I'm just gonna say that the doe looked at her, a suspicious look. He looked at her. The word "look" is used
3 times, almost right after each other. It's
Yeah,
so fucking
almost.
amateurish.
So between the first look and the second look, there is. I'm not counting A as a word. Fuck that. There is 3 words, and between the second look and the third look, there is 4 words. Wow. You're so awesome, writer. You may. It was an acknowledgement, but it wasn't warmth. Her lips pressed against the head, tasting the manly, slimy load that still remained within the urethra. Jeez.
Eh?
I don't think you can suck the cum out of somebody's urethra.
It's hentai. Let's just
No,
go with
you,
it.
you
I just-
can't.
I just.
I guess, yeah, it is hentai where their fucking pussy, their asshole, and their throat are all one single tube connected, you know? So,
Sucking on it
Ah.
slowly, leaving her to feel tingles going through her, the tingles of just wanting to die. Change. She wasn't aware that her lips had slid down and his cock was starting to harden, her tongue brushing over the underside as he grew hard inside her warm oral cavity. This is... Is this supposed to be sexy?
No.
Her warm oral
Oral
cavity.
Cavity.
Okay. A gag came as she noticed that hard cock still standing there. It was for her. It was all for her now. And she'd not been a good faunus. Traitor though she may be, she had still kept her resistance. But something inside her snapped at that moment. No, it didn't. No, it fucking doesn't. You don't change until chapter 56, and then you fucking disappear for 15 chapters after getting raped by a ghost or something, okay? You don't change. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Ghost rape.
I shit you not. She does not change until like chapter 56 or 57. I don't give a shit what she's saying in this moment. Next chapter or the chapter after that, she's gonna go back to fucking talking about him being a rapist and fucking wanting to slaughter human children or whatever, okay? Okay? She's gonna go back to that. So this is fucking pointless. Don't fucking do this. Don't have your character seem like they're going to change. Like, okay, so this is a major writing thing, right? I don't know if you know this, but if you're going to set up your character having an arc, then have that character act differently after the arc, okay? Don't have them have the arc and then continue to act exactly the way they were before the arc, because there is no growth. There is no change.
yeah. Let me see this. Let me
Oh my
quote
God.
Yahtzee real quick here. take Fallout 3 Far Cry 3 for instance, where you start as Jason Brody. He's just a little pipsqueak fucking college kid from California, and he goes through an arc of killing people, killing animals, slowly going insane in the jungle, and he realizes that's happening to him. He starts getting more and more vengeance-driven and wanting to murder more people, and it actually scares him. And that's the entire point of the thing. You don't start out as some muscle-bound meathead special forces soldier and end as the exact same thing. You start as a pussy-whipped little California fucking college student and end out as fucking Rambo on 7 different types of cocaine and drugs, killing animals and making fucking clothing out of their skin, and probably collecting ears and testicles and shit.
Out of their scrotum, I think he says.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, if you're going to set up an arc, which the author, I guess, is trying to do here, or make it seem like she's going to have an arc where she's actually going to start behaving, she doesn't. She never does. Not until chapter 57, and even then, I doubt she's going to fucking stick with it there either. So just don't even bother. Okay.
Yeah, because this person established it as a one pairing and then went completely off the fucking rails to a different pairing, and is trying their damnedest to make everything everything is hateful. Everything is horrid.
This person has, like, the biggest boner ever in the universe for Yang. Do you know why I say that? Because not only in this Nightshade fanfic does he make it a Nightshade initially or whatever, or make it seem like it's between John and Blake, and then fucking bring in Yang as the main love interest 4 chapters later, but this motherfucker has another goddamn story where he does the exact same fucking thing, where you think it's going to be Blake or him trying to help Blake in some fucking way at the beginning, and then guess what? 4 chapters later, he goes into some random fucking gym, and Yang is there, and they just... Oh my god. I hate everything. I hate it. I hate it so much.
At least we're getting some amusement of all the pussying and cocks going out here because we replaced look and fucking eyes and shit.
Sorry, I'm sorry with my ranting. I gotta continue. Right. Oh, speaking of which, as she pussied into those blue cocks and felt her penises and felt like she just felt a collar snap away from her. Also, that's another great word there. Felt like she just felt. They were warm and not distant at all, pussying into her penises and not making her feel unusual as she suckled on his shaft, pulling away from that hard cock. She smelled him in her nose. She felt disgusted in one half of her body.
Oh, she's gonna smell him in her ears.
In her fucking ears, yeah. She felt disgusted in one half of her body and excited in the other. A pat to her head, and she trembled. Good Blake. She wasn't supposed to, but she purred. Purred like a fucking cat. It was a nice touch, and she knew somehow that he'd given her another shot, which you're going to waste literally immediately next chapter. It was what made him into a beacon. As the doe pussied at her with penises that bore her little goodwill. Blake Belladonna, for the first time in her service to the young master of the Ark household, felt something akin to contentment, as she pussied into blue penises that would govern the world for her. Important penises, as they pussied at her with that pussy that was marginally colder than the penises that had pussied at the doe faunus. Holy shit. Use different words.
Just use a different fucking word.
Jesus Christ.
And the funniest thing, we are using different words.
I know. I think this paragraph beats out the previous paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 2 sentences, you use the word look and eyes 7 times. Holy shit. It was a start for Blake Belladonna. It was a start on a rocky road. No, it isn't. It's not a start on nothing. On a road which would carry her through pits and mazes. No, it doesn't. You just are the same person the entire fucking 40 chapters. Fuck you. You get raped by a ghost or something. Who gives a shit? Fuck you. But with the admission that she liked him. No, you don't. You don't fucking like him. You.
Look, she's just super soon.
Everybody, spoiler warning. Skip ahead 20 seconds if you don't want to hear spoilers. She doesn't fucking like him because 20 chapters from now, she takes a shiv and tries to fucking tear his goddamn throat out. So no, she does not like him. Okay, so you people who want spoilers over. The walls around her heart slowly crumbled. She did not like the dough in the slightest, nor did she fully accept the status of being a Faunus slave, but she accepted that this man was someone she was interested in, someone who held within him the traits that she valued in a man. Shallowness and a good cock, I guess. His sister may be a degenerate homosexual, and his other sisters might be scary, but Blake Belladonna, at that moment in time, tasting the manly essence from his loins, from the source itself, like drinking honey nectar from the gods, felt something blossom inside her heart. Okay, Kitty, it's your fucking turn. I'm going to go make chocolate milk. I will be back.
Enjoy the chalky milk. Oh boy. Okay. Okay.
She felt the pride in her owner, and the man who had chosen her as a Faunus, the feeling of her heartbeat bouncing like a heavy breast bunny through her chest, her eyes looking at...
Why are there no fucking periods? Her eyes looking at him as the feline Faunus suckled on his manhood, allowing not a drop to be spilled now. The cat had surrendered, the words had not been faked, nor had they been wasted. The master had spoken, and he had said that he liked her. The cat was not trusted in her heart, but if the master desired it, she could stay the execution. She looked at him, noticing the small smile as the sister yawned, getting up. You should change the bed sheets and the mattress. Cat pee is hard to get out of it. There was a comment from the sister as Yang smiled at her master, grabbing the cat's head and pulling her off that shaft. Come on, Kitty. She knew that it would be time for things to get started. For getting things started. She was a good Faunus, and she knew what serving her master required of her. As Blake tried to get up, Yang noticed that the hands were still kept behind the back, the handcuffs still in place. She pulled the key out and then fiddled with it. The smell of urine stronger, and she mentally cursed the girl for not having the ability to control herself during the throes of orgasm. Shouldn't need to be told to go to the bathroom first. But
Okay, I'm back
I
for this
guess we
retarded
can
shit.
forgive her this once.
The kiss had been something else. The warm feeling inside her couldn't stop the jitters going through her as the other Faunus slave got up and slowly trying to get feeling back to her arms. The girl was obviously not happy with how aroused she'd been, but Yang knew stubborn one when she saw it. You've been outside the kingdoms, girl. No matter what you say, I won't give you such trust yet. She couldn't trust the cat. The feeling was mutual, but the look that the master had given to the cat,
It had been a look of approval. It had been a look of approval. She could tolerate the cat for now, as the master tolerated the cat's uppity nature.
Welcome to Mumbai, India.
Hello, welcome to the Quickie Mart. Would you like a Slurpee?
He was off to the adjacent bathroom. His sister already having gotten out of bed, slowly working the kinks out of her muscles. That he had tucked her sister into bed with them and trusted her to guard his sister was sweet. It made her wish for a sister of her own. They could do things together. Things for him. Things that would have him be wishing for more. A little playing about. Little playing about. It made her wish for a sister of her own. Wait.
You're transitioning into Canadian there, Kitty.
The bedding was easier to remove than the mattress, but Blake managed, with a little bit of assistance. Yeah, I knew
Now you're
that
Irish.
where the bedding was deposited, so after nearly 30 minutes, a freshly made bed was prepared for the master. I don't know what I'm doing.
You, Kitty, that was amazing. You went from fucking Indian to Canadian to Irish in the span of 10 seconds. That was amazing. Beautiful.
I hope I'm allowed to sleep with him again.
Now you're going into Southern Belle. Okay.
Oi, laddie, I don't think that you're putting on a very good Irish accent. Mostly because of the fact you're not Irish, you're a fucking Canadian. Let me
It's
do
okay.
you a little favor there, little buddy. Why don't you put on some green, go and get yourself some potatoes and eat them, and then once you get big and strong, then you can call yourself an Irishman. Till then, you can go fuck yourself.
Look, Cap, I'm not into starvation.
Oh, you say that you're not into starvation, but you're living in a frozen shithole where the only sustenance you can get is either eating each other or the wolves that are trying to eat you.
You realize that I live in one of the places that's a major exporter of grain, right? Like one of the top
Yeah,
exporter
an exporter of grain because you
on
kind of
the
grow your
planet.
own.
You have to export
But
grain
yes,
because
I
you
can
can't grow your
actually-
own. That doesn't
Yes.
make any fucking sense, Cap. Think of your
Because you
insults
live in
before
a
you
frozen
speak them.
shithole. You live in a frozen shithole. Canada is so terrible. It's literally has like 1/10 of the fucking population of the rest of the world because it's so fucking big and so little people. I think there was a joke about that too, or the reason why there's not a lot of gun killings and crime in fucking Canada is because there's nobody there to fucking shoot.
No.
Keep going, baby. Keep going. We gotta make it through this.
We gotta make it through this, and you're...
We're almost done, but make sure that you keep calling the eyes and looks and shit penises and pussies because it makes it funny.
Keep doing that, please.
No.
Please?
I need to keep some seriousness to this before I break again.
Why would you want to keep seriousness to this?
Because it's my best defense against just snapping. Anyways.
The bedding was easier. Wait, I hope I'm allowed to sleep with him again. He'd been comfortable for the moment that he'd been with her. It'd been like she was with her father again.
Yeah, of course, her dad. Yeah, always with her dad. Safe and sheltered from the bad things in the world. A feeling of safety where there would be no hidden blades or fangs coming towards them to kill them for the crime of existing. No matter what you do, Yang, remember that as long as you find one person who is worth your love, you hold on to them
Chat,
for
please
as
watch
long
this
as
video.
you
I'm going to send
can.
you. It's fucking
Male
amazing.
or female, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that they make you feel like the princess you are, my dear daughter.
She had found someone worthy of her love. She glanced at her little finger, feeling the tug of an imaginary cord. It was a silly superstition, but she could believe it. That kiss. Full stop, full stop, full stop, full stop. She felt the emotions, giving a look at the cat who shrank back a little.
Giving a penis at the cat who shrank back a little. We need to get dressed properly. Guests will be arriving today, and I wish to look my best. The master must be kept impeccable. Acting out will not be tolerated.
It was the official rules. She remembered them well. Any slight against her master by her own hands would not her punishment. Oh, the slight against her master would be punished by death.
I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
That was very loud.
I know, I'm sorry.
Also, you're not.
I know, I'm not sorry. I don't give a shit.
The cat responded, and the savage urge slipped through her body at the sight, making cowering. This is how the cat should be compared to Yang Chow Long. The cat was nothing, Yang was everything. A little pretty fairness good for the master's entertainment, but not the apple of his eye.
Never start a sentence with but. Ever. Ever.
But not the apple of his eye.
Just don't make this. Just don't.
She would be the sun to his earth, the moon who would guide his sleep. She knew that he would feel her love for him as she shared herself with him.
I'm sorry, what were you saying about taking it seriously?
A smile.
See, he's even laughing in the voice, you fucker.
Got you there.
You need to keep saying the eyes are penises.
Look. Okay.
A smile played on her lips as she walked into the cell. They had for themselves plucked a newly laundered uniform off the shelf in the far corner, dressing herself swiftly. She made sure to look perfect ask for anyone who come to the household, for Lady is any other mother of the master.
This is what Hitler found when he went to hell.
Hitler's just reading this like, oh yeah, I was right.
Oh fuck! I can make something better than this.
He goes like, he just like looks at it, just finishes reading it, closes like because it's a fucking hardcover book in hell, closes it, places it on the desk before him, tenses fingers, looks over at Satan and says, "I was fucking right.
I was fucking right. My book is better."
I was vindicated."
No. 100 years, no, 90 years after the fact, and I'm vindicated. He just slams it down on the table. I was right. They should have listened.
This is what happens. Oh, we're all going to hell. It's fine.
Oh my god, I'm already in hell. Welcome to life.
God.
Proper conduct doesn't fit the finals from the house arc. She was going to be the best.
Wait.
She was going to be the very best.
No one ever was.
She catch me.
Taking dicks is her real quest.
Sucking dicks is her real quest. To swallow is the cause.
Big fucking cocks.
Gotta suck 'em all.
She could never love the master as she would a husband, but that did not matter. As long as the cat remained a stubborn and driven by fatal ideal, she would make sure that the master wanted not for nothing. She had dreamed that they were free, that there were no collar around her neck, and that he loved her, telling her in the morning with a kiss and a heated, passionate lovemaking in the night. She would not make her get his child, and she would lovingly... He would make her get his child, and she would lovingly raise it and all of its siblings, because she was his. There was...
Who the fuck's calling me at 11 o'clock? Hold on.
Hello, I am Kermit the Frog here. There was no denying it anymore. She loved him, even if it was impossible for her to fully show that love. His sisters, degenerate as they were, could see how he loved the people around him. They knew the truth, the way that he looked at them, and the manner that he called up to protect them. The manner of a man, bold and without fear, telling the cat to obey or be called.
No matter.
She was the woman who had chosen as his slave. She had been plucked from the dirt and polished into the gem that would be the crown that would crown him king of the world. What?
I will protect you.
So,
Okay, I'm back.
it was the IRS.
Goddamn IRS.
Okay, so yes, now for the rest of this thing, we're not even going to call it literature. Eyes are going to be replaced with penises. Looks are going to be replaced with pussies. And that's what's going to be going down, because you know, it's a lot more amusing when instead of he looks into her eyes and stuff, it is he pussies into her his fucking his penis is what? Oh god, I'm losing my fucking mind here.
He pissed into her vagina.
No. I mean, Kitty, I know you like some weird kinky shit, Kitty. Just no, okay? Just no.
Look, the author was the one that came up with the urination fetish. I'm just doing what they want me to do.
So we're going to penis into their pussies? Okay, I understand.
Yes, we must.
No, we're going to
their
pussy
vaginas.
into their penis. Get it right, man. Come on. God damn it.
That's taking more effort than I'm willing to invest.
I hate everything. I just hate it all. I want the world to burn. Can we burn the world?
It's already on fire.
Shit.
We didn't start the fire.
It was always turning since the world's been burned. Oh, it's Reno.
We didn't
Hi,
start
Reno.
the
Welcome
fire,
to this shit show.
always
Hello.
burning since the world's turned.
Reno, this man uses the fucking look in eyes 500 times. I shit you not in this fucking story.
He's an even worse writer than you.
Reno, I want to die. Reno. Kill me.
Wait. The proposal was harder to write than he expected. The elegant curls of the quill were of no objection. But how did you formulate such a request? It would be easier if you just followed the guidelines, but he knew that he was going to break traditions. Ash, how does one even ask the head of a head of a family? The woman was seated beside him, her aged features holding some amusement as if it were a simple request that she had to fulfill. It was a little hurtful seeing the amusement on her face. By using ink und quill and paper, my little yellow desk. Most proposals that are delivered before your father are handwritten as well. She knew better than him, obviously. She had the experience. Also, that's bullshit. Nobody would be handwriting things if they have access to computers. She knew better than him, obviously.
You're forgetting this is a feudal, technological, techno-ding-dong society of technological feudalness.
She'd had the experience.
She'd known what it was like to draft such a letter. She did it often enough for father, according to what he remembered. Ash knew how to read, how to write, and speak the language of the higher echelons of society.
Oh my god.
You see, there's goblins.
Oh my god. I want to die, Jimmy. Put me out of my misery.
It's not funny. The woman seemed to find it funny, and she laughed at him, though not in a mocking manner, her eyes looking at his own with that mirth in them. You are much like your father when he had to draft a proposal letter to let your mother's father for her to ask. Drafted the proposal letter to your mother's father for her hand, my little yellow desk. He sat within his seat for days just before he started to write, and came with an ink blotch rather than something legible. The amusement in Evelyn's face, she looked at him with a serious expression. Concern in her eyes as she spoke seriously. Is this truly the best decision? Her hand touched him, and he felt compelled to speak. He did so without the force telling him to do so in the slightest. Or without the force telling him to interfering in the slightest. This would be the best decision.
This would be the best decision for himself. He hoped that Ruby would forgive him for doing something so brutish, but he did not want to die.
You don't want to die? Oh-ho!
Mickey Mouse is going to be, it's going to be, public license, held in common, in 3 months.
I would pay $7 billion to hear, like, somebody with, like, an actual, like, could, like, keep a Mickey Mouse voice going for, like, hours at a time or read this. I would pay $1 billion for that. Hearing Mickey Mouse read shitty smut bullshit, oh.
Courier, do you want my PayPal information? I'll fucking do it.
No, I'd like your PayPal information so I can pay you to make another shitty fanfic that isn't as shitty as this one, but... Trust me, the ideas I have are fucking just amazing. They're goddamn... makes it look like Steven Spielberg writing compared to this shit.
Well, the blood
This-
checks
this-
out. The
Anything that
references
he
check
fucking
out.
does,
Security's guaranteed.
comparatively, is basically Shakespeare compared to this shit.
Pretty much.
He could literally just write fucking dick as over and over, just dick, 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 and it's a fucking better read than this shit.
Oh, don't... Reno, don't even... Reno, I don't actually know what's going on. I don't know.
Just
And the reason why
Go
you
for
were the reason why you're also server muted is because we didn't really want to hear the stupid bullshit that was coming out of your mouth like 2 days ago.
Jeez. Okay. That's not me. Don't look at me on
He
that
can't
one.
talk here anyways, and we should probably not address him since.
Yeah, don't look at me on that one, Reno. I didn't fucking say that.
Anyways, the blood checks out, the references check out, and the purity is guaranteed. No birth defects within 3 generations, ending at Summer Rose as the current head of the family. An ideal match, except for the age issue. I'm nervous that it would be considered as improper.
Ash's face was stoic as she nodded. A little smile played on her lips as the woman's eyes looked at the paper that was in front of him. Not much could be said, as he had to dip his quill in the inkwell. A simple ballpoint pen would have been better to make it more legible, but it was, alas, traditional. Tradition can get fucked. I don't like working with quills.
And yeah, that's also the fact too. They have those are fountain pens. You can use a fountain pen. It's literally the exact same writing style as a quill, except it's more convenient.
Yes, and we've had them for 300 fucking years! Longer!
Amazing.
In fact, medieval quills were fountain pens.
No. You can put the ink inside of the writing utensil? Oh. So sorry.
Just imagine if the fucking quill was like metal tipped or something, so that once you get done writing, you can stab yourself with it to restore the fucking feeling of your fucking
Yes,
hands
that's what
and
they
shit.
usually did. What about Cinderfall? He didn't want to say it aloud, but the semblance compelled him. She intends to commit line theft through regent management inheritance. Camellia showed me a vision of her begetting bastards by other men and passing them off as children of my line.
So I had to smother her and her unborn baby because of it. Oh.
A look on the woman's face that was unpleasant, to say it lightly, as she looked at him with that expression not changing. He spoke further. Ash would understand. She always understood.
Another way they castrated me. I killed Yang.
He paused to take a breath. The semblance shut off as the woman looked at him, and he still spoke.
I don't want her to die. She's important.
Ash looked at him, something akin to pity in her eyes. He didn't like the look as she turned her head in the direction where his slaves ought to be.
Who's actually saying what? Reno.
She is just a dwarf, honest Jean.
The dismissal in the woman's voice was soft as she turned her head to look at him, her eyes serious. He didn't much like that.
Reno, nothing is happening. Nothing
She voiced.
you need to concern yourself with. This is just pure unadulterated garbage is what we're reading. You don't need to worry about it.
Just stop addressing him. It's fine. Let him be confused. Don't tell him anything.
Jesus Christ, okay, fine, whatever. Just trying to be...
I want to get through
Reno,
this.
if you want to know what's going on, go to fucking Kitty's channel on YouTube and watch the first episode, then you'll understand. It's a lot easier than us explaining it to you.
No, he called you a dick. That was funny.
I don't care.
We're all dicks to you, Reno. All of us. Except for
I'm-
Courier. Courier's the only one who's nice to you, apparently.
He hasn't learned to be a dick yet. Anyways, I would wish more for you if I had to make the choice about your pets. Belladonna is passable, if only for the virtue of her ancestors. You deserve better.
He sighed, looking at her and giving a soft smile. Yang was amazing. Ash might not see it, but at that moment when he had kissed her, it had felt like he'd known her for most of his life.
You knew her for 2 weeks, at the longest.
It was such a relief, such a moment where the joy just burst from his heart and made him feel good.
No, also he didn't know her for 2 weeks at the longest because they keep saying whatever test she's taking take 2 weeks to fucking process, so he's known her for like 3 or 4 days. At the most.
A week at the most.
At the very, very most. Although in reality it's probably more 4.
You will have to prepare for the eventuality of her not wanting fairness around you, Jean. A woman gets jealous.
He knew it would be tough if he was forced to be part to part with Yang. She was his pet, and she would be his pet for as long as he knew she lived. His visions from Cammy had told him that she was loyal. She's odd for a deer faunus. They tend to be a touch more timid than most.
Lumen mused aloud and he smiled. Yeah, she didn't know that Yang got.
Ash didn't doubt that when Yang got passionate, she was like a living flame, domineering Blake with her words and deeds.
Yang cared for him, he thought, just like Tara cared for Saffron.
It is a pity. But alas, we must continue. Right, Master John.
No.
He had to continue indeed, as the proposal was not written so easily. With the greatest
With greatest respect and dignity do I, Lord John Ark, request.
The wordings were formal and curled together. A single page was the maximum length, with fine
Handwriting,
adding the embellishments on the paper. Flattery, pose, and some extra stylistic elements to brighten it up without sounding too pretentious. He looked at it.
Ash read through it, nodding once.
A decent proposal. Not forceful, but direct and to the point. Your friend might need some time to adjust to the situation, as this is sprung on her before her debut, but I trust that she will accept the situation. Children in their teens are resilient.
Yeah, she'll be on his cock too, don't worry.
He made no comment about his own status as a teenager as he watched the woman's eyes look at the spot where the signature should go.
Are you sure you wish to do this? It was a risky gambit.
If Lady Rose declined to read the proposal as the head of the family of the Rose, he would have to try another avenue.
He just hoped that it would be done before the ball. His fiancée would be with him during the ball, and it would look awkward if she showed up without him.
I won't let a bastard child take my family name. I can suffer a lot of pain, but I will not be raising another man's spawn. I have pride in my name and my family.
Literally just don't fuck her for a few years until she's infertile.
Yeah, but then you can't have any kids and you can't continue the line or whatever bullshit.
Yeah, you'd think that
That's why he
they,
takes a
like, at some
concubine.
point, that his sisters would just rationalize, why doesn't he just fuck us instead?
Look, concubinage. Easy. Take Ruby as a concubine. Done.
Oh, he's
You can pay me later.
You can have more than, I was gonna say, he brings up having more than one wife, everyone in this fucking story.
A look of pride appeared on Ash's face as she patted his head. He smiled at the head pat, knowing that she always meant well. No man should raise another man's spawn.
So adoption is immoral.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, so I guess everyone who's ever an orphan, just fuck them, they should go kill
Just
themselves.
fuck them.
The woman's
Yeah.
right to see Yang pregnant by another man would be too... I can't think of her as a girl. Bad. They're not human. They're not human, and they'll never be human.
She's just a phallus that makes you feel.
Is this video? Do you want me to copy it? The original will be signed and sent to the officials in charge of registration.
He knew how it went. He'd been present for the signing when Cinder and he had been matched by his father, and he had signed his name and been given a small smile by the older woman.
That would be wonderful. I hope that Yang will be around. I want to introduce you to Ruby.
There was all that Ruby would like Yang. Ruby was his best friend, and she had been with him had been with him more often. It was still early in the morning, so it wasn't likely that they'd be visiting just yet.
Make sure that Lady Rose keeps well entertained by little yellow dust. It isn't polite to make a lady be bored.
There was a warning tone to the woman's voice, of course, and he knew that would be implied.
He saw Yang and Blake from a distance, so
Tara was already getting them strict in the proper ways. Yang wore her uniform with a pride, puffing up a little as she saw him, her eyes happily smiling at him as he approached. Tara's head turned to him, and she bowed deeply.
Master Ark,
Yang mimicked her with perfect bow, whilst Blake aped her, doing a little too deep and maintaining her balance, probably only due to her fondness to Julie. He smiled, lightly running a hand through Blake's hair, teasing behind their ears.
The wares?
The wares.
Teasing behind the wares.
The wares, man.
The wares. The wares. A
I know,
shudder
I like getting teased behind the wares.
A shudder went through the girl as he let his finger slip a little lower. He didn't hate her, he actually liked her a little, as she always spoke what was on her mind. The Ux had treated her like trash, and with his voice he'd seemed to have altered her a little, but he knew that she would be someone that would light up a room just like Yang, yeah, with her fucking pussy.
Also, she speaks what's on her mind, and what's on her mind is killing you and everyone associated with you. Beautiful. I love it.
Master Shan! His doe spoke softly as her eyes looked at him, slowly righting herself with respectful manners. It was usually not proper to do so unless given permission by the highest member of the family intendants, but he let it slide. She can be the only one who stays in my room. He didn't want to make Yang the target of his mother's ire. Her mother always had a bit of an annoying spare for the fondness, even the slightest sign is true. I'm taking this. Tara, come join us. There was hesitation in Tara's eyes as she peered at him. Master Ark, my duties. He made an offhand gesture, shrugging his shoulders. We've got other slaves, Tara. You're allowed to be free in the household just because you're my sister's personal faunus. Are you going against by your master's will? She shook her head quickly, and he patted her head. Tara was obedient, even if her eyes smiled at him, whilst her face kept that small, minute smile on it. Good girl, we're going to play some games together. Yang looked curious at him, blinking. Ooh, foursome. He laughed out loud the way that she said that, as Blake merely resigned herself to looking at him. No, a video game. We're playing Mario Party.
I thought I was gonna say we're gonna go play Metal Gear.
We're gonna go play Smash. A blank look. He supposed that it was normal for faunus to not know what entertainment was. That had been fairly recent invention after all. No! Televisions were still a sparse sight of the bigger world. The game console was fairly easy to set up with the unfolding digital screen allowing them to see the characters. Okay. Somebody else can read. I'm
not reading. I've refused to. I petition.
Okay, fucking finish it then.
Finish this shit, motherfucker. I had to read the sex scene, so...
And it was a horrible, horrible sex scene full of penises and vaginas and seed. Oh, God.
Don't tell me this is another fucking sex scene. I was about to try and force you to read the second sex scene.
And sucking the seed out of your urethra. Oh my god.
She sucked so hard, she sucked his bones out of his pee-hole.
Well, it's called a boner, right? There must be a bone in there.
Penile ossification is a real thing and it hurts a lot.
I know that, Ginny.
Why did you have to make me aware that that's actually a thing? Fuck you, kitty. I should shoot you for that one.
Oh, you want to shoot me for everything else anyway, so no change. 10
It's
minutes
better
later,
Yeah,
the
it's
figures
just that
were
after I get done
included.
shooting you with one magazine, you're gonna make me fucking reload, aren't you?
It's better than testicular torsion or a penile fracture.
No. I remember watching a video on that. It was a cringe thing from fucking Poe on Twitter where the chick was bouncing up and down and she fucking snapped his dick in half.
Yeah, you ever imagine that? Just taking a boner and just snapping it like you fucking snap a turkey leg or something?
Cracking it like a glow stick.
She'll crack your dick like a glow stick.
Anyways, I have to fucking finish this. 10 minutes later, the figures were in combat. He played a little more relaxed than usually was the case. Blake's eyes watching carefully the moves of her character while Yang seemed to enjoy herself. Take that. Yeah, take that. Woo! She was so easily excited she knew not much of what she was doing, but that was cute in its own respect. He got sight of his sister Saffron as she marched through the door and sat herself down behind Tara, wrapping her arms around her faunus's waist. She was looking at Yang with bloodshot eyes. Nope. That's not Saffron when she's at her best. You don't fucking shit! Yeah, hey there, Saff. A low grumbled groan sound that came from Saffron was the answer that he got, his eyes watching carefully the screen as she started to fondle Tara, leaning against her.
Yang looked a little spooked as her attention went back to the game, trusting that Saffron wouldn't try anything with him around.
Come on, Tara, you mutt. Be a good funness and beat his team.
Saffron encouraged her pet, Tara, trying a little harder, which made him try harder too. The game wasn't very difficult for him, but seeing Yang get into it was amazing. Blake, measured by her little widening of the eyes several times, definitely found it to be entertaining as well as she looked with that hint of something more. He inched closer to Yang, bumping against her with his hips. She looked at him and smiled. Her scent was comforting and floral. She'd taken a shower, perhaps a bath, smelling like the flowers of the wild.
This is fun.
Wait.
This is fun. He knew that it was. He smiled at her.
There goes Reno.
Thank God.
Watching carefully how she lit up, she could never be his girlfriend or his wife, but her bright exuberance made it worth it.
It made it worth it, and he was going to keep her.
Jean spotted Blake looking at the screen with an intense
Kate, her ears standing up straight as her hand motioned with the controller, the character jumping over one of the small rockets that had just been fired.
Oh, they are playing Smash. Her focus, her drive, the fire that she showed him, and that will that had stood up to him, it was beautiful in a terrible way. She had been misled and lied to. Animals deserve to be treated like animals, and Yang was a faunus and Blake was a faunus. It wasn't fair. Saffron had asked him to put a baby in Tara, and requested that he give her something to nurse to care for, but she knew it as well. It might look like him. It might have been made by him, but it would never be the child that he could claim, because it had no right to exist outside of slavery.
Don't be sad, mister. Her voice was soft like a whisper on the breeze as she leaned against him, her smell comforting.
He wanted to say it, but he knew that he shouldn't. Saffron didn't judge, but the other members of his family would. The shame that it would bring to the family if its only heir was to prefer the company of the faunus over the company of humans. You're almost human. Without horns, you'd be... She was his favorite of the two. He had woken to find her pressing Blake to the bed already spread. It had been her surprise, and Blake had been tight, wet, needy even. By the gods, he wish that he could take her for a wife. Multiple wives for him would probably be a little issue socially, given the importance of the Ark family and the multiple children that his father and mother had put on the earth. Ho ho ho! Imagining Yang with a wedding dress on, lawfully married to him, was something that made him hard. He smiled, kissing her neck. She went stiff.
She went sniff.
As her lips pressed against that soft skin. She was made for him. It felt like a warmth that he didn't want to let go of.
Master.
She spoke softly as he licked over her neck. She trembled a little. She trembled a little as his tongue came to her ear, his slow exhale making her shudder. My pretty doe. She trembled as her eyes looked at him, her head turning away. Her eyes staring into his own. Okay. She trembled as her penis looked at him, her head turning away, her penis staring into his own, as her character died on the screen, her hand leaving the controller and grabbing his groin, her eyes looking at him. Master Ark. Was a moment as her fingers groped and teased where he felt that urge. So much gas.
Pinning her to the ground and taking her to feel her quiver and moan underneath him like she desired him in every manner of the world to take.
Yang.
Attention as she came closer, her full babies pressing against his own.
Can you still tell me why he likes Blake when every single time Blake has opened her mouth, she has said nothing but about wanting. She has said nothing other than wanting to kill him and his entire family.
I'm just gonna
Every.
point out that the author wrote, quote, her full breasts pressing against his own. I didn't realize that Sean had boobies, but okay.
Man, John has some nice. Dude, it makes sense because remember earlier or whatever when he forgot to use he instead of her. So fucking John, from John's point of view, it was her.
Fingers sliding into his pants, tugging out underwear, tugging him out, slowly groping over that shaft, squeezing, haughty, gentle.
She was amused, driven, and
Teasing that clit.
so good.
He wasn't aware who moaned with the sensation of her hand.
She stroked her fingers, driving over the flesh.
He didn't care about the game anymore as her hand grabbed and gave him a swift bump.
The mushroom-like head of... No, please, no more fucking descriptions of mushrooms and
God,
fiction.
how fucking long is this going to be until the end?
We're gonna be in here for the next 17 years, approximately.
Like a head unveiled. Do
Jeez.
keep things polite, little brother. There are members of the family present. Saffron's voice cut through the feeling like a bucket of ice water hitting him. His manhood wilted a little, looking into Yang's eyes, spotting the desire within them.
I'm gonna make sure that I live to an old age. Master!
Her voice was breathy. Her voice was breathy and tense, her eyes looking away from him, her chest rising and falling as he realized that he was outside of his pants.
As he was outside. Whatever, fuck it.
Later, alright. I have to be presentable. Ah!
How much more is left? I don't know if I could take anymore.
He nodded that would be the best idea, provided that he make it through that meeting.
He pushed the thought away as he endured the knowledge that Yang would still be there if Lady Rose had known the proposal. Whatever you want, Master Jean.
I want you.
If only she was human. He tucked himself back into his pants and they continued, little men and women characters moving through the levels, facing grim and destroying the opposition. On occasion, a freed fauna slave provided a little bonus, dying for the good cause. John! Wait. John!
Ruby's chief of boys came from the door and he found himself being tackled by his
Best friend. Good thing his dick is put away. Silver eyes looking into his own. Yang had leapt out of the way almost...
Didn't he come on her face earlier or something?
Yes, like 2 days before.
Yeah, so why would it matter?
Anyhow. Almost precognitive of where his friend would travel through, looking at her with eyes that were a little darker in their shade. Hey there, Ruby! Saffron made a soft sigh as she disentangled herself from around Terra,
The dog faunas.
having won another round of Dungeons and Doom on the screen. Oh. Blake was looking at them as Ruby
Holy
smiled at
fucking
him.
shit, are we still going? Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
This is so long.
How many fucking words is this? I'm fucking checking this out right
Good
now. Hold on.
afternoon, Inherited
It's so
Rose.
big. It's so long.
Saffron was still formal as she looked at him for permission to leave.
With the social rules, theoretically, she was not supposed to ask for permission, but this.
So last chapter was 13,000 words. This is...
Oh, hey, Inherited Saffron. How are you doing today, huh? Saffron looked at him and then glanced at his pants. Functional, Inheritor Rose. A night of bad sleep, but that is not unusual. The look given to Yang was nearly heated as his sister looked a little weird.
Not very happy, though.
Yeah, she was cured of lesbianism. Now she just wants somebody to fuck her. Ruby noticed Yang and she smiled broadly. She no doubt would love Yang just as much as he did. Yang was a girl who would get along with his sister Juniper, so that made her wonderful. Ooh, a new slave? Ooh. He smiled as Yang got up and did a perfect bow, as expected of a well-trained slave. She'd taken to the lessons. She should teach her more, because he thought she deserved it. I am Master Jean's pet, Inherited Rose. The formal words when the high speech slipped from her lips, and he smiled. Ruby was looking at him, and then back at Yang as she smiled.
The reason this feels so long, by the way, is because this chapter is 3,000 words longer than the previous chapter. So, thanks, Microsoft Word.
Wow, ain't she a pretty one? Jean, hand me a controller. It's time to cream you like you've never been creamed before. Your slaves can go and do, I don't know, whatever they want, as long as they're out of sight. Holy shit.
Mean. She caught sight of Blake already departing, Yang still in her pose. He should give Blake etiquette lessons, probably. You don't leave until you're dismissed by the master. That was a big no-no. Luckily, it was only Ruby.
Go with Blake and make sure that my bed is freshened up for a bit. Alright?
She smiled at him with her wonderful smile, and he saw the way that she rose, accentuating her full babies a little more. As you wish, Master Jean. The tone set him ablaze with desire as she strode out. His eyes followed her, and she sashayed out, his tongue sliding over his lips at the wonderful derriere that wiggled as he gave Ruby one of the controllers. She was silent, but then started on the gaming, Silver Eyes looking at him for a moment as her smile broadened. So,
Nice new faunus?
he nodded. Yang was the best, and so he talked about her.
Ruby listened, and she was happy for him.
Also, I was gonna say, wasn't it the point that Blake has a better ass than Yang, but Yang has better tits than Blake or something? I guess that she has a better ass now, all of a sudden.
Neither of them have anything at that by this point.
I hate everything.
I'm gonna get angry at the next part. She rubbed the scented oil onto the pillow. No! The fresh dab of the scent making making the room smell very pleasant, just as the master would want it.
You know how to make a room smell pleasant? Plug in one of those smelly scent things, or clean it, or put a fucking candle in there or something. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Clean it and use a candle. Don't fucking dirty your sheets by splashing oil on them.
Scented oil.
She was a good faunus, and it had been nice to see her master interact with his friend. The girl looked like a really sweet girl too, kind with those beautiful silver eyes shimmering with an intensity. The door opened and she could hear Blake turn, a clearing of the throat as heels tapped onto the ground. Could you be a dear and fetch some refreshments, Blake? Your master is a little thirsty. Right?
Could you be a dear and fetch some refreshments, Blake? Your master's a little thirsty.
Yang did not turn around, hearing the voice of her master's friend from behind her. Yes. The addressing of the teenager by Blake was wrong, but the cat at least obeyed. The door opened and then was closed again, leaving her with the other girl. You're the new pet. It was a statement of fact as she turned around. The petite girl with the black hair and red accents stood there, her hands behind her back, the red cloak falling over her shoulders, the red and black accented clothing looking prim and proper as a guide, but yeah, you can see that. Complete materials, I got it. Fashioning the dress. Ja, inheritors. The tittle she had gleaned from the degenerate ox mouth as the girl's silver eyes regarded her. A burst of petals later, and she was bowled over, feeling the punch to her gut hit her suddenly as she found herself kneeling, something very sharp and very big at her neck as the human teenager stood behind you. Oh my god. Why is Ruby so fucking terrible in this too?
Sociopathic? I don't know.
Yeah, they had to take one of the actual characters so that you could actually, like, you know, have some like for and just make her just about as fucking horrible as the rest of them. It's terrible. The only person that they didn't fuck up was Velvet, but they fucking killed her off later because for no fucking reason.
You'd think that Ruby would be more tolerant towards the faunus because she's a fucking half.
Also, you think fucking never mind. I was gonna say later they didn't. She didn't. Or fucking Callie wasn't ruined later on until she was. So yeah.
He looks at you as if he loves
also,
you.
Also, I'm gonna have to drop out. I'm getting.
You can't make it
now.
Yeah,
I'm also getting a migraine right now. So I've had a lot of shit been going on. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Okay.
See you later.
He looks at you as if he loves you, Faunus. I could see it in his eyes.
You're seducing him.
We can make it, man. Keep going.
There was a deadly It was a deadly tone in Yu's eyes. Saw the massive scythe like blade at her neck. The red and black that guarded the edge large as the smell of weapon oil hit her nose. No, gun oil.
No, weapon oil, man. Because it's a scythe and she was oiling her scythe gun sniper thing.
Look. You can use olive oil to oil your weapons, but that doesn't make it weapon oil. It makes it olive oil.
Yeah.
The girl had moved faster than she'd expected, faster than she'd imagined. Her aura, thankfully, still kept her off through conscious habit. Or still kept off through conscious habit. Oh no.
You're not going to take my happiness away from me. You're a slave. You may look better than I do, but you do not have the pedigree that I do. You're not even human. Why did he look at you like that?
Yes. Ruby is the hidden yandere. Congratulations.
Her soft exhale as she felt the force apply against her, the blade at her neck. If she flared her aura, she would be able to lever more force against the girl, but she was the master's friend. Master Jean is my master? Her voice was stronger than she expected as she felt the scythe slowly pull away. If he decides to kill me today, I will not blame him for it. Her desire for him, her craving, the feeling that she had for him that would make it okay. He was the one that had lifted her from the muck and darkness and given her something she felt. Filled the void.
Never forget your places, Fanus. You are not like us. You are never going to be like us. I will tip you soon, and there is nothing that can prevent me from trying for a second wife status. Mom thinks I'm silly, but I don't want to see him without me. He's such a kind young man. He's not going to end up married to some old hag.
That's what you think. It was love for the girl's motivation. Okay.
Motivation.
It was love for the girl's motivation. Yang could feel it as the scythe-like blade pulled away slowly. She felt the pressure on her back fade away as the specter of pain continued to feel hollow in her gut.
Remember that slave? If I catch you trying to seduce him, make him to follow his bloodline with you, I will make sure that your head bounces just as those lumps of fat do. Bonus should not mix with humans. Blake is just a dumb slave. She does not have his gaze the way that you do. But the way he looks at you is he should look at me.
She looked at the girl, the silver eyes looking at her with... She penised at the girl, the silver eyes penising at her with deep disgust and jealousy. She knew that she would not be able to bear her love's children, but the girl had given her an ultimatum. She didn't know what the girl would do, but she didn't like it. Yang Zhaolong did not bow down to anyone, but this was a different situation.
Remember this, Fanus. Do not forget that you are an animal who serves humanity. You may be his pet. The condom that he wears when his wife will not be him for a night, but you will never receive his love. You're not human. Don't protect that you're in love. Don't pretend that you're in love and that you know what it's best. He's too loving, too kind for people. I will not see him hurt because some stupid animal thought she'd get right by seducing him.
She wanted to say something, but the weapon was still out. Even if she had her aura, she could not do much against a weapon that was made for killing things. She was not invulnerable, nor did she have the skill.
Oh, really? A weapon's made for killing things? I thought it was made for healing things.
Master Jean is... Master Jean is the one who decides my fate, she said, and the blow to the back of her head was not unexpected, her brain rattling slightly through the blow's impact.
The master is what is most important to the slave's life.
Wait. The master is what is most important to this lowly slave's life. If the master asks me to abort the child in my womb begotten by him, I will do so. It would be a loss, but she would do so. He would be a wonderful father, and she might not produce an heir, but she would do it.
It made him happy.
Good. Pet! The pat was demeaning right on the back of her head.
He will have duties that he will need.
What?
He will have duties that he will need to do, and I will be at Beacon Academy. His fiancée will be in attendance for the ball, so play nice, will you? Be the nice little busty bimbo dear that you are, and make John happy.
A click and the weapon shifted. Yang could see the scythe blade fold back in on itself as the girl flickered past her, a rough tap to her cheek by the hand that was too fast to catch. Rose petals drifted to the ground as the heiress to the Rose family turned at the door opening. Her scythe fully unfurled in her hands. The red cloak looked like it had been made from blood as it hung from her shoulders, a soft smirk on the girl's lips.
Or it'll be an execution, Faunus. Now, I believe I've made myself clear.
The bright smile was back on the girl's face as the warmth returned to her face.
Nah. Pure fucking yandere.
It was a startling change as Yang watched this smile stretch the girl's lips kinder and more innocent than before, as if the previous moment had just been a brief slip of the mask.
John is a good friend. Please, join us with some snacks for our enjoyment later, Faunus.
She would be a better partner for him than me. She's right about status and pedigree, and how the world feels the Faunus. It's a simple truth.
A human was still better than a Faunus. She had nearly forgotten that, being around Blake and around her master and his sisters. They had been bad, but they hadn't been this bad. Now here raises the question, why not just fucking marry Ruby?
I don't know.
The door opened again, and Blake looked at her with surprised eyes. Yang noticed that she was still kneeling, and there had been a mess made.
Does this girl just piss herself every 5 seconds? Holy shit.
Oh, they all do.
The master's friend is really nice. She patted me on the shoulder and thanked me for bringing him something to drink.
Wait.
The master's friend is really nice. She patted me on the shoulder and thanked me for bringing him something to drink.
Really nice indeed.
She couldn't love her master, but she did. The look in
Inheritor Rose's eyes had been something that she'd seen in the mirror.
Someone who loved the master for all the beautiful traits that he had. He was the gem in the crown. The Inheritor Rose would do anything to obtain it.
Did she do anything to you? When you met her before, I think the master talking about it.
Yang asked, getting up shakily. Blake blinked as Yang went for the mop, filling a bucket. Luckily, stuff didn't stain too badly.
The master requested that I stroke his cock while she watched. She took some of it to the face. She is bright and cheerful for a human.
Yang doubted that. There had been anger and frustration in that voice, a deep craving for the master.
Humans did not hide what they were.
Nor do you assholes.
She doesn't see you as a threat.
Yang didn't like Ruby Rose very much. Blake just didn't see that, because she wasn't in the master's favor. No matter what, I'm not giving up. I burn with the feeling for him, and I will not turn to ashes. She was going to make sure that the master was happy, even if she was just a slave.
You want me to read the author's note in the comments?
Ruby Rose, ladies and gentlemen, the best friend that John has, and not so secretly crushing on him like, whoa, the sun is a little hot. Next chapter, yeah, they're gonna get to meet the whole Lark family without the dad. Summer Rose gets more speaking time too. He has prepared things. Now, it's time for a power move. Thank you for reading this in the comments that I see pop up. It's nice to see people get invested in the story. The Nightshade part wasn't readily apparent at the starting point, yet there's some serious stirrings now as Blake
No.
acclimatizes to living in slavery.
No.
She's not broken down and submissive yet, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a
And she
comment.
never will be.
Listen. None of it makes sense. None of it makes any fucking sense at all. I just want it to end, and it won't, because this person is making money off of it, and I hate it. Oh.
You want me to read the fucking comments?
If you feel like it. I'm editing this now before I lose my fucking mind.
Oh, you're not gonna let me read the comments on the stream?
It's already, like, half an hour past.
I can read them real quickly. They're not very well. Actually, I take that back. This one fucker wrote a goddamn essay. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh my god, one fucker did write an essay.
Yeah, I'll read the short ones then. H. Manson on chapter 15 says, "Great chapter, slightly confused for Saffron's behavior, aren't we all? Maybe I'm forgetting something from last chapter. No, you didn't. Love, slightly, Psycho Ruby." Doom Gewer on chapter 15. Ah shit, is Ruby a yandere or just really fucking jealous? Cause a yandere in a world with murder fodder is not good. Yeah. Meteor El Drago says, Jesus, Ruby can be sadistic as hell when she embraces the dark side.
The dark
So
side of
keep
the
up-
force.
Of the force is a pathway to many abilities, some consider unnatural. So keep up the good work, you stupid motherfucker, and I can't wait for the next chapter update so I can stroke my micro penis. Sparrance at chapter 15 says, Yandiris, Yandiris everywhere. Yang's a Yandiri, Ruby's a Yandiri. Okay, real talk, I didn't see this coming. It's also hilarious how Jean keeps fretting over Ruby hating him for ditching Cinder for her when she's probably gonna go, yes, please. Whoa.
Oh, not her. Her mother. It's
Oh, her
gonna be his
mother.
big
Wow.
mother. No.
Oh wow. Did you figure out the fucking twist? You figured out the twist, Kitty?
They fucking outright stated it, but that's gonna be a funny thing. It's like
The author treats it as a twist. Yeah. Oh
he
my
ditches
God.
her for her mother. It's like, wait, you're skipping me?
Yeah.
You're you're skipping me for mom?
And
What?
and then finally Gorgas, because his isn't as long as fucking Jack, the dickhole ripper. Gorgas on chapter 15. Man, the inferiority Blake feels towards Yang is real. Gotta admit, I felt bad for Blake when she realized just how badly she had screwed things up with John. Well, you're fucking psychopath then. Sure, Blake has been frustratingly and almost suicidally stubborn throughout the story, as well as a psychopath and a fucking Hitler analog. But it was an understandable, though not smart, reaction to being told that she should be okay with being a slave. Luckily, all is not lost for her yet. The flashback with Tara was cute. Kind of sad, but cute all the same. I was not expecting the meeting with Ruby to go that way. I now have the image of Ruby and Yang just suddenly starting to brawl whenever they're alone, with John and Blake just being completely oblivious to it. More seriously, though, it's interesting how not okay Ruby is with Yang, as she perceives her to be a genuine threat for John's heart. Meanwhile, as much as Yang keeps insisting that she's just a slave, it's very clear she's become very possessive of John, no fuck, and takes a lot of pride in being the favorite, no fuck. Looks like she's about to be tested in regards to how okay she is with her lot in life. Speaking of lot in life, John's trying so damn hard to remind himself faunists aren't people. So hard. Okay, thank you everybody. I fucking hate everything. I hate my life. I hate this story. Everything's all fucking terrible.
We're gonna shoot ourselves and then shoot the author.